Good evening and welcome into the Hive here from Perham High School. We're going to bring you Section 8AA Wrestling tonight as the tournament kicks off here. Opening round. We're going to stay on the same stream for the whole evening, so we're glad you're joining us, and we're looking forward to some really good action. My name's Lance Rock. I'm followed along on color tonight is going to be Jesse Hine, and this is being produced by Jason Groth, so we've got a full team here ready to bring you action. Our 6 o'clock matchup today is going to bring you the Park Rapids area Panthers versus the Alexandria Cardinals in what looks to be a really good matchup. There's a few weigh-in things that we have, and we're looking towards. Not sure who's going to be wrestling tonight, but again, it's a really good opening round, and we've got opening round going around all over the state tonight. So some really good stuff as we get going. We'll kind of set you up before with some starting lineups, or so we think are going to be the starting lineups tonight. It's always kind of a wonderment when you get to this time, who's bumping where. I know illness and injury has also affected these schools as we've been going, but this match will start at 6. It's Alexandria versus Park Rapids area. The winner to take on Perham at approximately 7:30, or as if this ends earlier, might be a little earlier, maybe a little later. It's going to be hard to tell. In other parts of Section 8AA tonight, we have Minnewaska area taking on Sauk Center Melrose. They're in Pine River tonight, and the winner of that one takes on the Pequot Lakes Pine River Bacchus Road Crew. So a really good matchup there. And as the other side of the bracket, then it kind of looks like almost north and south. It's not really. They will flip-flop it after tonight and cross bracket. We have Fergus Falls and United Clay Becker Badgers. They are in Dilworth, Glendon, Felton tonight, and the winner of that one takes on DGF. And then our final of the 4 parts of the bracket, Detroit Lakes versus Roseau and Thief River Falls, and the winner of that one takes on Thief River Falls. So that kind of gives you an idea of where we're at with Section 8AA wrestling and how this tournament's going to lay out. And Jesse, it's always one of those great tournaments, and it's one of those things that has changed a little bit in the past, as we used to be in Thief River Falls, and it was kind of the super section with 8A and 8AA, and now it's gone into back into the home gyms. And I might be speaking out of turn, but I kind of like this format of being at home.
Yeah, it gives the high seed an opportunity to have another match in front of their crowd. Just gives, the team who's earned it a chance to wrestle in their home gym one more time before they head to that common location here tomorrow, which I believe is Minnewaska.
Correct, Minnewaska area, and we'll have 2 matches again tomorrow night. So great Section 8AA wrestling. I like kind of the quad format where you're heading to one spot, and it worked out pretty well this evening. Before we get too far into tonight, I certainly would like to thank the schools of Alexandria, Park Rapids, and Perham. They kind of put together the package to get this rolling tonight, and then we turned it over to Jason Groth, the producer, and he's making all the magic happen here as we get going. So we're just it's just going to be a fun night of wrestling, and again, if you can't be in gym, it certainly is nice to be able to watch it online or at home. So we'll get into the starting lineups here as we get going. It's getting closer to wrestling. We've got about 9 minutes. Jesse and I will take a little bit of time here to look into a little bit deeper into what we're doing as we get going and what we think might happen tonight. But before we get doing that, let's look at what possibly could happen, and it's ever-changing as we get going. So the Alexandria Cardinals at 107 have Shane Tim, a 7th grader, 12 and 27 on the year. Our Brock Manderscheid is an 8th grader at 2 and 6. Park Rapids Panthers have wrestled Heath Saratovich, a 10th grader, 13 and 15, or Caden Dykoff, a 7th grader at 2 and 6. At 114, the Cardinals have come out with, or have weighed in the past, Riley Gilbertson, a 9th grader, 10 and 22. Park Rapids has either Leo Kubert Kuber, a 9th grader, 1-14. Our Dominic Brissett, an 8th grader, 1-1. At 121, the Cardinals weigh in 2, and I think giving them a little ability to move around. Nolan Feddick, a 10th grader, 29-0, number 3 in the state. Or Isaac Seward, a 10th grader, 7-11. Feddick was out early in the year, I think. Now really turning it up, 29-0, and rated 3rd in the state of Minnesota by the Guillotine. At 121 for the Panthers is Wrigley Clark, a 10th grader, 28-1. We'll see what happens there. At 127, Mason McGrain, a 12th grader. If you've watched wrestling, you've heard Mason McGrain's name a long time, a multi-state entrant, 6th place a couple years ago. A senior. 32-9, or Ty Larson, 9-13. At 127 for the Panthers, we have Aiden Monham, 11th grader, 12-10. 133, Mason Evgen. I don't have a age grade on him, 23-21. Nice record on the season. For the Panthers at 133, Henry Thorson, a 10th grader, 20-9. And you can hear the Cardinals are coming in. The Panthers have been warming up. The Cardinals are now entering the gym. We'll go to 139, Zachary Richards, 11th grader, 27-16. 139 has a host of athletes for the Panthers. Cooper Ackerman, a 10th grader, 6-6. Jackson Soderberg, a 10th grader, 0-1. Or Castle London, 11th grader, 1-9. At 145 for the Cardinals, Carl Franson, 14-14. For the Panthers, Garrett Galetsky, 11th grader, 10-15. At 152, Landon Day, 11th grader, 19-21. 2 wrestlers in that spot for the Panthers. At 152, Peter Carroll, 11th grader, 18-12. Or Corbin Schiller, a 10th grader, 3-3. On to 160, Gavin Engelbrecht, 12th grader, 17-24. Again, a host for the Panthers as they show open at 172, but weigh in 3. Andrew Johanning, a 10th grader, 14-16. Alex Homer, a 10th grader, 6-11. And Owen Van Batavia, a 12th grader at 2-0. Again, they're open at 172, so I could see some movement happening here. 172 for the Cardinals, Grayson Tim at 9-21, or Aiden Button, a 10th grader, as the lights just went out on us, at 4, and I'm going to wait for some lights coming here. Lost my ability to see. Here we go. Aiden Button, 10th grader at 4-8. Again, 172 shows open for the Panthers, but they have a lot of things that they can do. 189 for the Cardinals, Pablo Garcia, 12th grader, 26-16. Or Landon Raths, 1-1. For 189 for the Panthers, Anthony Teig, 12th grader, 8-14. Cooper Darchik, 9th grader, 6-11. Heading on to 215, Jackson Werder, 11th grader, 21-19 on the season. And for the Panthers, 2, Dondre Johnson, 11th grader, 23-3. And Charlie Johnson, an 8th grader at 5-5. At 285 for the Cardinals, Luke Monham, 11th grader, 25-15. And open for the Panthers. So again, a lot of kids weighing in, a lot of double, triple weigh-ins tonight, which gives a lot of movement, Jesse, for both of these clubs.
Yeah, this time of the year you can expect, due to injury, due to, growth spurts, due to different things, that teams are going to look a little different than they maybe did in December. So it'll be fun to see the matchups, maybe matchups that didn't take place earlier in the year, but it'll be a fun night of wrestling for sure.
Correct, and we always say possible lineups because we all know when it gets into this time of year, we're going to see a lot of changes as we go through. Good stuff happening here. Again, we'd like to thank these 3 schools tonight for making this happen. So thank you to Alexandria, to Park Rapids, and to Perham for allowing us to join you tonight in bringing this action. And we're not even seated now because it's that tournament time, and everything you've worked for so far is now coming into play. And another thing, Jesse, that we got to think about tonight is next week we go into individuals, and one of these things that always comes into play is Do you wrestle somebody you might see next weekend? And that's one of those, it's a coach's decision and maybe an athlete's decision as they talk about it. Sometimes it hurts you, sometimes it helps you.
Yeah, wrestling being unique in the sense that there is a team portion and an individual portion, separate weekends. That all comes down to philosophy, whether the matchups take place. I know some coaches, if they get that head-to-head matchup in their favor earlier in the year, they might avoid that later on in the year and vice versa. But it comes down to philosophy. In the end, you got to beat the best to be the best. But yeah, that's what makes this time of the year a lot of fun.
And I think one of the things that comes into play here is it's interesting. If you're a clear-cut 1 and 2, it's maybe not be such a big deal. But if a loss could drop you from, let's say, 2-3 to 4-5, all of a sudden, who you wrestle, what your competition's going to be throughout the night really takes hold. So again, I think there's a lot to play when you're the coaches and thinking about that.
Yeah, no doubt. And you throw in the true second, which is something I'm sure we'll talk about later on. But where if you get third place and you haven't wrestled the second place man, you get an opportunity to beat them for a true second.
Correct, and there's so much good things happening here, and we've got captains and coaches coming out to the mat right now, and there's nerves set up, and it gets pretty quiet in the gym when the music goes down, and they're ready to wrestle. And we'll kind of set this up for you quick tonight, as we'll probably step away for the national anthem tonight, get ourselves geared up. We'll listen. We'll try to bring you as quickly as we can who's on the mat because of the changes and all the things that can happen. And we'll hopefully the scoreboard keeps going for you so you can follow along right with us as the scoring goes. But the officials now going over some of the rules, kind of taking a look at what all the things and kind of the crucial part right here, Jesse, is that coin flip.
It looks like Alexandria won the coin flip. Whether they chose odd or even, I don't know. We'll have to figure out when the first wrestler checks in, but a duel can ultimately come down to matchups, and the coin flip has a big part of that.
Right, and we have Bruce Perham. Coming through in our microphones really loud there, and Jason, did a nice job helping us out there. Again, I think we'll see some starting lineups, and again, it's such a crucial thing with the starting lineups when it comes to wrestling is there's a lot of movement, and by looking at the weigh-in sheets tonight, there could be a ton of movement on either one of these two teams, and we'll find out as we get going who's going to be wrestling who. And like we talked about, those matchups can make or break this for these two teams. But really good match coming up tonight. We have Park Rapids Panthers and the Alexandria Cardinals going head-to-head in our first one. They did wrestle earlier in the season. Park Rapids, Alexandria defeated Park Rapids area 51-16. And we are going to step away. We're going to step away during the national anthem. We'll be back for your starting lineups.
down 7 pounds from Park Rapids, East Sapatovich. And for Alexandria, Shane Tim.
So out on the mat right now, we have Shane Tim for the Alexandria Cardinals against Heath Savatovich. Savatovich in on a quick takedown for the initial 2.
Nice double leg by Savatovich there. He did get a little bit high initially, but did a good job kind of gathering himself.
Nice job by Tim, kind of trying to free himself. Now kind of the mule kick, trying to get free or cause a stall warning, and he's doing a good job. Can't quite get to his feet. There's the stall. Savatovich has to work his way back up. He does just that.
Tim doing a good job keeping his base here. Savatovich definitely hard ride on top. Knows what he wants to get to and is being really physical here.
Yeah, looking at that, gets that arm trap behind, and again, a good recipe for back points. Kind of little loose here. A good job by Tim to free himself back up. He turns into Savatovich, and nice work here by Tim. He's been out a couple times. There he gets the escape. When all looked like it was going to be in harm's way there, Jesse, Tim did a nice job. Now into kind of a front headlock snap down, trying to get around back for his own takedown.
Yeah, it looks like Tim's trying to weather the storm here a little bit, kind of regather, getting to his own offense here.
Right, and both wrestlers been aggressive on the shot, so to start with, nice job by both of these guys coming through. Again, here's Savatovich. Again, front head spins around the back. Looks like he has close to the 2 once he gets that leg free, and there it is. Goes up 4-1.
Kind of an interesting position there. He must have put his leg in to get that 2-point takedown here, because from here it still looks like Tim has partial control. But
it did look like he got his leg in that backside, and we're on desperate ends of the table here, and so my angle looked like it was a takedown. It was really close, and one of those that I thought maybe Tim was going to get a reversal when you see that takedown reversal. Tim takes the down position to start the second period, down 4-1. Feels like he can get out. Again, Savatovich hooks the legs, gets up on the chest. This is close to back points right here.
Kind of stacked him up there, going for a breakdown. Tim looked like kind of forward roll attempt and kind of got in some trouble, but he came out of it. Here he comes to his feet. He's got to clear those hands because Savatovich does a good job controlling those hands.
Right, staying behind him, Savatovich, and again, boy, Tim does a nice job staying out of harm's way, and now is getting himself back in that position. We're back a little bit like Groundhog's Day, and not wanting to give up that second stalling, but a long shot there by Tim leads to a takedown by Savatovich.
Yeah, similar position. Savatovich went for that go behind. They got into that little scramble position, and here we are again.
And again, we're in a scramble position. I think Tim has kind of got the upper hand if he can break that.
He's got to pop his head out here.
Get that hand free. He'll have that 2-point reversal, get his head undone. You got to watch for that scissor, and there he comes through, and there's the reversal.
Right into a Turk step here. Lance, he's got those legs split. You're going to see him try to claw that shoulder, elevate that bottom leg, and try to get some near fall points here.
He's got some time, 30 seconds remaining on the clock here. And again, now we're in shooting range as we're 6-4. And again, looking for some back points, and here comes Savatovich trying to spin his way out. Has the hands. Tough ride here by Tim.
Just under 10 here. Tim doing a good job staying behind the hips.
Again, nice matchup by these two, getting us kicked off tonight. A little roll action there, but stays behind is Tim. And we're going to go into the third period. It should be Savatovich's choice. He leading 6-4. Savatovich is neutral. We got a little blood time out here as they get going. So 6-4, a series of takedowns there by Savatovich, a couple escapes and a reversal on the board for Shane Tim. And they're kind of starting this one out, Jesse, with a lot of fire and a lot of energy. And for both teams, or both squads, that is a really nice sign of what's to come yet tonight.
Absolutely. A lot of times these first match of the night, they can definitely set the tone for the rest of the evening.
Again, just want to thank all three schools for their contribution to getting this on the air and allowing us to bring it to you. And Section 8 AA Wrestling, none finer. And again, we're back on the mat. Blood timeout done. Neutral was the position picked by Safratovich.
Kind of surprised me a little bit. I figured he'd take bottom and try to go up by more than a takedown here, but
Safratovich has been good in this position, though. Tim has shot from a little bit of length, and now Safratovich is kind of just getting long on him and trying to stretch this out. And I was going to say stalemate coming shortly, I would believe. But when you look back at the scorebook, Safratovich has 3 takedowns, so I'm sure he feels he can get in and get his takedown. But here's a single, deep single by Tim.
Tim did a better job getting more penetration that time. He's got to continue to work up toward that head and get control of the hips to get that 2-point takedown.
Right, his shots earlier were from a little bit further distance. Safratovich was able to go. Tim trying to peek out the backside here, and if he does that and can get, well, now Safratovich is blocking that.
He's got to step over those legs to get control here. He should have 2 there.
Big takedown there for Tim.
Now it becomes, do you cut him loose to try to get another takedown, or do you try to ride to go to overtime?
Yeah, and that's the interesting part. These coaches certainly know their wrestlers better than we do. It looks like Tim's going to try to get a turn here, Jesse, and he's been close a couple times, just not in the right position. But now the problem is an escape is a win for Safratovich.
Tim's got to be careful, throwing his hips back over to stay on top. 20 seconds left in the period. He's got to continue to ride hard.
Could we be in bout 1 overtime? As we have 16, you can see on the score clock. 16 seconds remain. 6-6 is your score. Tim looks like he is fresh and ready to go, and that's kind of that momentum.
These restarts are big with little time left. Gives the bottom man a chance at a new opportunity.
Safratovich, Tim drops in on a leg. Safratovich in a good position.
Tim's got to stay locked on that leg with under 5 here.
And there's the escape with less than a second to go. And man, what a great match is that escape. Gives a 7-6 decision.
What a way to start the evening.
For Heath, Safratovich puts the Park Rapids Panthers on the board with a 3-0 lead, now heading into 114 pounds. Again, this is where we could see some changing and some shaking. We'll see what both teams come out with.
At 114 pounds for Park Rapids, Leo Keeper. And for Alexandria, Riley Gulbertson.
Riley Gulbertson for the Cardinals, Leo Keeper for the Panthers, just as we expected. So Riley and Leo Keeper going head-to-head here at 114 pounds after a really thrilling way to get this thing started right here at the Hive.
Kind of an opposite way to start the match as we did last time. Just when we said that, Keeper in on a takedown, but a good job by Gulbertson to get out of it.
Yeah, and I've seen that out of the Cardinals, so definitely one of their strengths is getting away from that initial shot. They're in a single.
Kind of a shin wizard position here.
Again, looking to get down, stay on that ankle. I think if he can get across, maybe gather that far ankle.
He's got to shelf it up to his hip. Now he's in a better spot to get that takedown. Nice job.
And there's the 2-point takedown by Gulbertson. And 50, under a minute remaining here, 50 seconds on the score clock. First takedown's usually a big takedown, Jesse.
Yeah, in these tight matches, little points make a big difference.
Again, action on the bottom. Kind of a long ride here by Gulbertson. Crossface tried under there, trying to maybe pull under a wrist.
Definitely contrast of styles from this first match. I don't think the other two stood still for more than a couple seconds and here we go. That's the beauty of the sport, is making all styles work.
Yeah, here Galbertson looking like he's trying to get some back points. Has that arm tucked around.
He's got a Turk step with that bottom leg. He's got to continue to elevate that, claw that bottom shoulder, run out of time.
So 2-0 for Galbertson. Neutral is the call here. I believe Kieber with the choice of neutral as he looked over to his bench. Again, a good 2-0, but like you said, a little contrast here. And on that single again is Galbertson.
He shoots that from space, but he does a good job, and his length definitely makes up for it.
He is really a long wrestler, and he gets that second takedown. So a takedown in the first, takedown in the second, leads to a 4-0 lead here, and he gets right back into that arm series. This time, stretching
kind of a
it
butcher
out.
series here.
Stretching that out and coming around the front side.
That's tight. He's got to block that head with his knee just like he did there and continue to work that over, and he should get some near fall.
Kieber fighting like crazy, though. I think I would have been pinned by this time. Again, give up on the butcher back. Good rider is this Gilbertson.
You wonder if the Alexandria coaches are going to want him to go on his feet and try to maybe work for some bonus points here.
And nice job, and you can see he uses that length well at 114 pounds to ride heavy on the shoulders, trying to roll a wrist under, it looks like, not so successful. Kieber just kind of holding suit. You wonder, it hasn't been a lot of movement if we're going to see a stall come up here shortly or not.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I would imagine his head's on the mat. Just under 25 seconds here. I wouldn't doubt to see a stall call here before the end of the period.
Got the arm in on an arm bar, it looks like.
Yep, he just did. He's kind of got it hooked from the other side too. He'd almost be better off letting go and just running the arm bar clean, but here he goes for some near fall.
Still not, I got a great angle right here, still not breaking that 45. There he does.
Just under 5, he should get a full count here.
Looking for that pin, and there it is with 1.7 seconds remaining. A fall, but Galbertson puts 6 points on the board for the Cardinals and kind of gets their crowd electrified again, as now it is 6-3 in favor of the Alexandria Cardinals heading into the 121-pound match, and that one went from a good match to a fall, and that's just the way wrestling is.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a period to figure out your opponent. He found the weakness and definitely took advantage of it.
At 121 pounds from Park Rapids, Dominic Bressett. And for Alexandria, Nolan Fettig.
So we got Dominic Bressett in for Clark here at 121, and Nolan Fettig for the Cardinals. Fettig in on an early takedown. Fettig 29-0 coming in on the season, number 3 in the state of Minnesota, and he's looking to make quick work of this one.
Yeah, definitely. Really good arm bar there. He knew he had one job to do, and that was to go get 6 points for his team, and he did it.
And spreading the lead here really quickly. Fettig makes quick work of that one and runs his record to 30-0, and showing you just why he's rated 3rd in the state of Minnesota by the latest guillotine. We'll head into 120.
At 127
27 pounds.
In for Alexandria, Mason McGrain.
So we have Aiden Monham in for Alexandria against Mason McGrain. McGrain, couple years ago, was 6th place in the state, multi-time entry in the state of Minnesota. He's 32-9 on the season. Aiden Monham, junior, is 12-10. So again, a couple underclassmen here. Looks similarly built, Jesse. We'll see how this match plays out.
I don't know how many times this year, Lance, we talked about how good wrestlers usually come in pairs for teams. A lot of times you got 2 good guys next to each other because they're practicing with each other every day, making each other better, and Alexandria has 2 pretty good ones here for themselves.
Right, and again, good action here, minute 15 on the clock, and both wrestlers kind of just nice shot there by McGrain, gets in on that deep single, but Monum does a nice job of just kind of stretching it out, but McGrain stays with it into the double, and usually when that happens, that's the effect.
Yeah, Monum did a good job initially with his hips, but McGrain definitely crossed over, got both legs, took control right away.
Again, we'd like to thank all three schools as Monum up to his feet. Park Rapids area, Alexandria as they're off the mat, and Perham for bringing you this. Another shout out, we'd like to thank Tanya Beachy for the graphics and setting this all up in a day's worth of time. So her work is outstanding, and we reap the benefits from it. Monum up to his base, nice mat return again, and as he got the mat return, it looked like he almost had that arm pinned underneath, that being McGrain, and looking to work on that, getting that head in between that in the armpit and dragging him down. And boy, that's a tough position to get out when you get that kind of that chicken wing spread out there.
Yeah, you get a lot of power taken away from you for sure. McGrain looking to end the period on top, stacks him up for some near fall here.
Monum rolls through, maybe two.
Looks like he's holding two.
Two near fall. Makes the score 4-0 going into the second period. Neutral. Monum takes the neutral position. So again, it did start out really well in the neutral position. Both teams shooting and doing a nice, both wrestlers doing a nice job through this whole thing. Again, there's McGrain in on that nice shot, and he gets the takedown. And you can see McGrain's experience and why his record is 32-9 right here. But Monum is battling. And again, keeping this a really close score here at 6-0. Monum is in the down position now. McGrain to cover up. Again, nice job here by McGrain, flattening out Monum right away. And you can see some of that power that McGrain brings to the table here, and likes to do a lot of work with the arm. Monum's got a nice sit out there, but again, McGrain just drags him back to the mat.
McGrain running a deep waist here. That's something that is tough to see from the crowd, but anytime you're all the way across the abdomen of your wrestler and you're holding them right where you want them, it's something that goes unnoticed sometimes, but can make a big difference from on top.
Well, and it allows you to get some of that. You see that pressure now as he goes forward. It puts a lot of pressure on your opponent, and you can see Monum's battling to get out of that. And again, every once in a while, McGrain tries to get the arm. Monum's trying to drag that arm over the top here. Again, Monum trying to work to his base. McGrain's got one leg in there and just kind of trying to stretch him out. Now if he gets that half in there and tries to drag him over the top.
There he's getting a short count. He reset really nice. He's turning him back on the mat. Monum doing a good job of fighting in that position though.
Two more?
2 points, yep.
McGrain gets into that major decision, 8-0, and again, Monum really struggling to get off of his base, and you gotta. I think Monum's an accomplished wrestler. You just got to give credit to McGrain right there with just how you said, Jesse, with that deep waist ride.
Yeah, it's definitely taken the wind out of his sails a little bit, but he continues to battle in some of those positions that, maybe a lesser wrestler would have given up.
McGrain takes the down position, leading 8-0, knowing that Monum's probably going to have to cut him too, unless it's something major, but not waiting for any of that. Nice escape there by McGrain. Again, it's going to probably take a couple of shots here by Monum, and usually, I don't know, in my theory, Jason, usually it's the other wrestler that comes out, but here's Monum with a nice takedown. And as soon as that hand hit, but here goes McGrain looking for the reversal, and he does just that.
I'll tell you what, that takedown by Monum, he put two misdirection shots together. So he shot one side, waited for the reaction, hit the other side for a takedown as well. But good job by McGrain to gather himself, and here he is with a reversal and getting some near fall.
Right, McGrain looking for some bonus points for his team, and kind of this is where I think the Cardinals really are strong when you go Fettig, and then I know you talked about 3 more near fall there for McGrain.
The biggest thing I've seen from McGrain tonight is just good technique. Every position he's been in, he's won by technique, so kudos to him.
Yeah, 14-2, he's got the lead, and you mentioned it. When you see one good wrestler, you usually see 2, and they battle off, and I can only imagine the bouts McGrain and Fettig have in their wrestling room, and maybe a lot of times the toughest competition they have all week.
Here we got kind of a banana split attempt here. Good job by Monum holding tough here. If you start rolling in this position, crazy things can happen.
And again, we're getting down, 15 seconds remaining. Definite major decision locked up here for McGrain unless something really weird happens with a 14-2 lead. Looks like that's what's going to happen as time runs out. 14-2 major decision for McGrain. Runs this score to 16-3 in favor of the Alexandria Cardinals. And we mentioned earlier, Cardinals defeated Park Rapids area 51-16 earlier in the season. And I don't know who did or didn't wrestle. Again, Park Rapids not wrestling Clark tonight. Definitely probably makes a little bit of difference.
At 133 pounds from Park Rapids, Henry Thorson. And for Alexandria, Mason Evian.
Mason Evian on the mat for the Cardinals. Henry Thorson on for Park Rapids, and before I could write their names down, Thorson with the takedown.
Yeah, great job with the crossface, getting near fall right away, doing a great job controlling the hips. He kind of sunk into that position, getting near fall, looking for more.
Thorson 20-9 on the season, a sophomore, so nice looking athlete for Park Rapids. And Evgen is, I don't have an age, but 23 and 21, so a lot of matches for him on this season. And again, right now you have to watch, and Thorson's just the aggressor.
You know, he's doing a good job with this crossface series, looking for a butcher and then to a cradle, and here he goes out front for a cow catcher.
So definitely has near fall as Evgen gets back to his base.
You're going to see Thorson go right back to that crossface. You can see Coach Dravis over there definitely smiling a little bit with that crossface cradle series.
Yeah, coming out of that Staples Cardinals for years running that cradle series, and yeah, the smile was wide when that came across, but they got to be impressed here with Thorson and his aggressiveness.
He's definitely been a hammer on top.
Again, 20 seconds remaining here in the first period. Thorson kind of dominant, has got that early takedown, got some back points, and really hasn't been in danger of giving up this escape. Just as I say that, Evgen works his way up to his base with short time, but nice job breaking him back down to the res light mat is Thorson.
Thorson doing a good job kind of riding that Iowa ride, controlling that one leg, getting to the positions where he can be successful.
Thorson's choice, he defers. Evgen takes down. We'll see. I was kind of wondering about that one, Jesse. You hate to second guess, but after being rode out for the whole first period, and boy, the series of stuff that Thorson's put on, but here's that
and the
headlock.
Broadcaster's curse right there.
And again,
nice little roll attempt for a reversal there. I guess they knew what they were doing.
That's why we're broadcasting, and That's why we're broadcasting and they're coaching. And then a reversal back. Again, you definitely see what they like to do.
Right back to that Iowa ride. Kind of a chin drop position here. Action definitely picking up here in the second period.
Yeah, again, and some odd positions happening right now, and where you wonder if either guy could actually score, but then now Thorson kind of puts his stamp back on, and you can start to see him work some of the things that he did in the first period. Definitely likes to get to that arms, upper body, and this is a spot for each, and you gotta, man, he's battling right in on a
fireman's carry there. He's got the legs split, and he's right back in it with a 6-2 match here. Arm bar, he's gonna run it straight over his ear. He's in a pretty good spot. He's just gotta settle in.
Boy, and if the tide's turned right now.
Boy, he looks pretty flat from here right now. Ooh, boy. Just under, there it is.
And there it is. And there you go. There's the hole. I would have thought Thorson was in command of that. And again, you just get into that series, and the momentum went, and Yevchen just dominant on that fall and runs the score to 22-3 in favor of the Cardinals.
Nice little sequence there with a fireman's carry right into that arm bar. He didn't waste any time. He didn't let Thorson react, and he got the fall for his team.
At 139 pounds from Park Rapids, Cooper Ackerman. And from Alexandria, Zach Richards.
Into the 139-pound match for the Cardinals, Zachary Richards, 11th grader, 27-16, and Cooper Ackerman, 10th grader for the Panthers, at 6-6 is the record that I have. Ackerman in on the early shot, stemmed off there by Richards, and here we go. It's been nonstop action probably since the 107-pounders have been on the mat, Jesse.
No doubt, definitely both these teams out here giving it all they have. That's what you need come section time.
Again, into the 139-pound match. You can see the guests on the scoreboard tonight are the Alexandria Cardinals. They have a lead of 22-3.
Nice sweep single by Ackerman there. Richards doing a good job fighting it. He's controlling hands, put that foot to the ground, but Ackerman, ooh, kind of a wizard position here into a headlock. No points yet. That headlock's still there. Looks like Richards should collect two here. Again, kind of that 50-50 position where you're in control and all of a sudden you get taken down.
Well, Richard did a good job, just what you teach from the youth on up, sit in the chair. He just was patient. He let that go by, just held on to that constant pressure and got out of there.
I think the difference so far, Lance, is you're seeing a lot of these Alexandria wrestlers wrestle through those 50-50 positions a little bit more. They're not waiting around. They're continuing to wrestle, and that's definitely been beneficial for them so far.
Cradle hooked up here, but it might backfire just a, I thought it was a cradle, and maybe it was a false cradle, but now it's locked in.
Deep cross-face cradle there. He's going to settle in just under around 10 seconds here.
Richards looking.
Broke the cradle here.
Looking for the fall. Cradle broke.
And he ends up
reversal.
on top with a reversal. Holy smokes.
Near fall, Richards. Reversal.
I'm glad we're not keeping score tonight.
I'm trying over here, and my pen's running out of ink, but again there, Richards with the two near fall. The cradle broke. Ackerman ends up with the reversal. We're going to start neutral here, and just waiting for the fireworks to happen as these two right in on a single.
Here we are in this single leg position. Richards with kind of an elevator position there, ends up on top for a 2-point takedown.
Again, and he takes a 7-2 lead here early, and again, sometimes creating his offense off of Ackerman's offense, as Ackerman has been in on the shot, just unable to finish here. Ackerman with a deep sit here, traps that leg, but I don't know. I'm just impressed here by Richards. There's some supreme flexibility, I think, Jesse. I'm not sure how he gets out of some of the entanglements he gets himself in.
I think his length is playing a big part in a lot of that. Just when Ackerman thinks he's got him, you know, Richard still has his feet on the ground and can react. So.
Now he's throwing that cradle back in there again, and he's been the one to pull over the top, and again now this one he's going to go straight back, and then it breaks as it goes. But I like that straight back cradle a lot more than pulling that wrestler over the top of yourself.
Tell you what, if I was either of these guys, I'd be a little nervous putting somebody on their back because usually the reversals come out of it.
Again, we're getting down 30 seconds here remain in the period. Great match again, 7-2. It doesn't seem like it should be that far as we've had Ackerman in on a few shots, but Richards is again into that cradle.
He's going into that roll again. See if he scoops that bottom leg out. He wants to roll so bad. But if he scoots that bottom leg out, he should be able to splash him.
Runs across, so you're seeing Richards start to chain wrestle a little bit now. As soon as he tried hard to get that over the top cradle, and when he didn't, then he got kind of into the Butcher series where he was going to come around top, just ran out of time. Richards now in the bottom position to start period number 3. Again, if you're just joining us, on the guest scoreboard is the Alexandria Cardinals. They're up 22-3. Don't let that deceive you. We had a couple pins late that Enfetic just does what he does. Otherwise, it's been good matches here. And again, this is no different. Reversal for Richards.
Ackerman getting a little bit high on top. Richards doing a good job shaking him off and going right into a Butcher series here. Similar to the Park Rapids wrestler last match, running that Butcher crossface cradle series as well. It can be nasty.
Right, you got that arm coming all the way across and all your weights pulling that leverage across. It's a nice job, and you know that Ackerman's got to be thinking about that cradle as it's been slapped on about 4 or 5 times so far, and he's doing a nice job trying to tripod back up to his base.
A lot of those cradlers, Richards is doing this too. You can see he's kind of waiting back on his haunches, baiting Ackerman to stand up. Just then he'll try to come on top and slap it in here. Here, as you can see, he's back on top, throws a leg in for a little bit of leverage, breaks him down again.
Again, Ackerman breaks down to pretty flat here, and again, boy, Richards has been kind of smothering. You used that the other night, Jesse, and I like that word. A smothering rider, and again, I think Alexandria is trying to get some bonus points, so they go escape, trying to get that last takedown here.
Yeah, kind of a late escape here. We're getting down to 10 seconds. We'll see if they waited a hair too long or if Richards can go get another one.
One more takedown would obviously give the 11-3 major decision. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. So 9-3 is going to be your decision in favor of Zachary Richard over Cooper Ackerman. So regular decision runs that score. Alexandria Cardinals 25, Park Rapids area Panthers 3, heading into 145 pounds. Again, it's a big deficit on the scoreboard. Been a lot of really good wrestling here tonight, and sometimes the scoreboard just doesn't show that.
At 145 pounds for Park Rapids, Jared Galski. And from Alexandria, Carl Franson.
So for the Panthers, we have Jarrett Galski, 11th grader, 10-15 on the season. And for the Alexandria Cardinals, we have Carl Franson, 14-14 on the season. And I think this was one of those that I had circled as kind of a toss-up match here, Jesse. And it's not just records. They seem similar. You watched them warm up. They're doing kind of the same things. I think this is one. I think if you're Park Rapids, you got to kind of get the tide turned here a little bit before it becomes too late.
Yeah, if you were Park Rapids, you probably felt like you had a couple slip away from you. We need that stopper. Just when we say that, Galski in on a nice double leg takedown, trying to get some near fall here, seeing if they can get the Panthers back on track.
Again, Galski is a junior, 10-15 is the record I had for him. Carl Franson for the Cardinals, 14-14 on the season, and nice job here, a good ride, and I'm sure you want the win for sure, but if you can you can start to get some bonus points coming up, and just as I say that, we got an escape, cutting that lead to 2-1. So Franson on the escape there, and now both back to the center of the mat.
Franson with a single leg attempt here. Trying to come to his feet, see if he can switch to a double.
Kind
Galski
of
doing a
abandoned
good job.
that.
Yep, doing a good job throwing his hips in there.
Again, 2-1. I think that's what we'll go into the period. We thought this would be a toss-up match, and I can see both wrestlers in on a shot. One successful, one not. Galski's choice, he defers. Franson chooses the down position. Again, trying to tie this up, I'm sure. Again, up and out.
Did a great job peeling the hands, hand control, you walk right out.
So one takedown for Galski, 2 escapes for Franson. All tied up, 2-2, minute 37 remaining on our clock. Again, the Cardinals have kind of a commanding lead right now on your scoreboard, but that can change in a hurry. It just takes a few pins, and all of a sudden that does not look so bad. So stick with us here as we'll follow out through this match. And again, we'll step away for a little bit, kind of get our paperwork ready to go after the conclusion of this match. We'll come back for the winner of this one versus the Perham Yellowjackets in our nightcap for tonight. And again, we'd like to thank all 3 schools as we got a little action here on the mat, both with a shot and a 2-point takedown there for Franson.
Yeah, Galski with the initial shot, Franson with kind of a reshot. Did a good job running his feet, getting a takedown at the edge.
So both to the center of the mat again. We'd like to finish up that. I'd like to thank all 3 schools tonight, the Alexandria School, Park Rapids area, and Perham Yellowjackets for bringing this broadcast, along with Tanya Beachy for all of her graphics and Jason Groth for helping us out on controls. This is Lance Rock along with Jesse Hine bringing you the action as we see another escape, and I think this one could go down to the wire, Jesse.
Yeah, from what we've seen, both these guys are trying to do similar things, and they've been in both scoring positions and defensive positions, and they're very similar.
And again, we talk a lot about tonight and the things that could happen tonight. We also can talk about these guys might end up matching up here in the individual tournament in a week from now. And this might be some seeding, and here's a single leg shot into, I thought we might even get some back points, but we for sure got the takedown for Galski right at the buzzer.
Those takedowns at the buzzer are huge because you end the period on top.
And he takes the 5-4 lead, now gets to, it's almost kind of like we talk about in football where you score at the end of the half and then get the ball back. He scored at the end of this period, now gets to get the escape, which he does. And Galski takes the 6-4 lead. Kind of interesting with the takedown being 2, watching college wrestling, Jesse, with the takedown of 3 really changes some strategy and has forced college wrestling to become a lot more offensive than it has in the past.
Yeah, it definitely rewards the offensive wrestler, and again, I had mixed feelings about it going into the year, but after watching it so far this year, I definitely think it was a good move on their part.
Yeah, it sure brings some excitement and gets those wrestlers. It's just not so much waiting for riding time as it is now getting onto your offense. And speaking of offense, these two, I'm kind of waiting for that next shot, and just as I say, there it is. And again, Galski just fends that off. Then in on a semi-shot. They're kind of going shot for shot right here.
Yeah, Galski definitely in the driver's seat, running a cow catcher for some back points here. This would be huge for his team if he can settle in and get the fall.
He gets takedown. He has 3 for sure, but he wants more, and a nice job bellying out there. But he gets the 3 near fall points for Galski. Runs it to 11-4. Now I'm sure he wants some more back points, and you wonder, there's the escape. Now we got to go takedown again.
Should be a flurry of action here with 30 seconds left in the period.
That takedown would give him that extra bonus point, and you look at the scoreboard and you think 25-3, big deal, but that 1 point might be a big deal as we get to the end of the night here. So again, shot there by Fransom. He's getting in on the leg, and he's going to take this right down to the wire, looking for his own takedown to end this match, and does not get it. So we're going to end that one. Galski with an 11-5 decision runs the scoreboard to 25-6 in favor of the Alexandria Cardinals. Nice job by Galski, kind of just stopping the bleeding, so to speak, on the scoreboard and getting the Park Rapids Panthers fans and team something to cheer about. Now heading into 152 pounds.
At 152 pounds, the Park Rapids, Peter Carroll. And for Alexandria, Landon Day.
So we have Peter Carroll on the mat for the Panthers. He's a junior, 18-12 on the season, against another junior for the Alexandria Cardinals in Landon Day. He's 19-21 on the season. So Day 19-21, Carroll 18-12. And again, if you can get on a little run here, if you're Park Rapids, this would be the time to do it. Don't wait too much longer.
Well, definitely the big move. Big move won them the last match. They're going to need some more big moves to get them back into this duel.
Pete Carroll in on that single, gets in deep, kind of runs his legs across, should have the 2, and there he does. Again, looking for more. We've seen these wrestlers, a couple things kind of stretch out the Alexandria Cardinals. We've seen a little bit of working on that cradle that we've talked about. We've seen out of the Park Rapids Panthers in years past. Again, I think it's almost a necessity, bonus points here. I don't think you can keep going 3 at a time and expect to end this one. So again, we're looking for big moves, big action, and trying to do that right now is Pete Carroll, as he got that early takedown for the Park Rapids Panthers.
Kind of working that farmer series, hammerlock series at the edge. He's going to go elbow in the ear here, try to kind of bend him back onto the mat, post that opposite hand. He should be getting some near fall here shortly. He's doing a really good job.
And there it is, you called it. Boy, this
could turn into something here, yeah.
Time is of necessity here, but
Ooh, that's tight now.
Throws him over the top and whistled him off with 4.9 seconds. So 3-point near fall by Carroll makes it 5-0. And again, you could tell he was looking for more on that one.
A lot of times when those wrestlers take the time like that, makes a huge difference with your technique when you take your time and do it right compared to when you just try to horse them over.
And you got to be impressed with Landon Day's strength, as I thought all was but lost for him, and he just kind of bench pressed Carroll off of him on the side of the mat and got out of harm's way. So Carroll in the down position here, looking for his escape. Day sinks down into a leg, trips him back down to the mat. Again, 5-0 lead here for Carroll. Gets back to his base pretty quickly. Looks like Day is trying to put legs in. again, a nice ride here by Day. As Carroll got up to his base a couple times, Day just flattened him right back out. Now trying to pull the arm across and get some back points of his own.
There's got to be a stalling call coming shortly here by either the top or bottom man. Top man staying pretty parallel. Bottom man, it does look like he's working to his base, but head's been down a lot this period.
Right, and you know, one of those things that you're talking about there, Jesse, is covering up both hips. As here comes Carroll out. Nice job getting out of there and finally picking up that escape that he'd been working for. They get right back in and start to throw each other around again. 6-0, and here goes Day, but Carroll does a nice job instead of following around, sinks in on the leg, but boy, Day just comes right around that backside and picks up a takedown of his own. 6-2 in favor of Carroll here, and one thing I've seen coming out of this is Day is pretty impressive on top. He does a nice job riding and has got firm control of what he's doing in this position.
Yeah, he kind of settled in after that near fall that he gave up, and he's done a good job this period.
Yeah, again, you've talked about it, and you've used the words a few times, Jesse, just weathering the storm. And sometimes you weather that storm of that initial run by the opponent, and you can actually work it to your favor. So Day is going to take the down position.
Playing with fire a little bit here. You got to get back on the horse.
Yeah, you know, you want to get your 1 point here, and he does a nice job on a quick sit out to a stand up. Carroll following is going to have to return him soon, or we're going to end up but a nice sit. And he's going to get the reversal. So, man, Day has recovered really nicely from an early being down 5-0 in the first, now down 6-4. And again, you wonder, he's done a great job riding, not a ton of points on the ride, but you know that he has that capability. You wonder how long they go without releasing, because you're going to have to go a couple of times.
Here he's got a deep butcher position here, blocking the head, doing a good job.
Releases that.
And Carroll doing a good job underneath too, just being tough, staying on hands.
And there's that cut that we talked about. So Carroll gets the escape, goes up 7-4. Just kind of keeping you up to date here. We got under a minute to go. Again, Carroll now putting him in dangerous position.
Kind of a Turk step position, claw on the shoulder. He's elevating that leg. If he can turn his chin away from that leg, he'll have a chance at a fall here.
So if he gets the 3, is he holding the 3? That would be a major, but he's looking for the fall as he's chest to chest tight right now.
He's going to have to readjust a little bit.
Going to have to get off to the side a little bit more, isn't he, Jesse, and try to get that shoulder on shoulder.
Somehow he's got to work his arm underneath his lower back. There he comes to his belly. Good job from underneath.
So 12-8 with that 3-point near fall for Carroll takes it to a 12-4 major decision, and bonus points are bonus points. I know they would love to have that pin there, but he does come away with that big move. Peter Carroll with a 12-4 decision, and a major decision at that, brings our scoreboard now to 25-10, heading into 160 pounds. Boy, some good wrestling action happening here, and both teams battling. You can tell it's section time. They're getting after it. They're getting ready to roll, and we're waiting for 160 pounders to come out to the mat.
At 160 pounds from Park Rapids, Andrew Johanning. And for Alexandria, Gavin Engelbrecht.
So for the Alexandria Cardinals, we have Gavin Engelbrecht, a senior, 17-24 on the season. He will be facing off against Andrew Johanning, a 10th grader, 14-16 on the season for the Panthers. So a little age separating, but not much in the records. And again, I think it's one of those. This is going to hold on, because it could be either person's match.
That's been kind of the theme tonight. No team leaving anything unturned. They're going for it. This could be arguably their last time they wrestle with their buddies as a team, so they got to give it everything they have.
Yeah, that's one thing that we haven't taken into consideration. You got another shot at individuals coming up in a week, but again, there's nothing like being with your buddies on the side of the mat, cheering for each other and whatever, and you know the battles that they have gone through in the years. So again, nice job, good kind of shock of the head there. Johanning trying to get around. Engelbrecht trying to get around. No, Johanning holding on in there. Engelbrecht gets free, takes that takedown for 2.
Engelbrecht with that hard cross face. Looks like he's got a cradle hooked up here. He's looking to take him straight back. Kind of a splat position here.
Boy, it's tight too, and there's the fall. So Engelbrecht comes away with a big fall and kind of turns the tide again in favor of the Cardinals at 31-10. And that might be a big one, Jesse, as we look back at this match, is one we thought, record-wise at least, could have been a pretty good match. And Engelbrecht just left no doubt there with that cross-face cradle into a pin.
Yeah, definitely. I think Alexandria's had a lot of the toss-up matches, if you will, kind of fall their way. You know, some nights the ball's in your court, some night doesn't go your way either. So
we're into 172 pounds. For the Panthers, we have Owen Van Batavia, a senior at 2-0. He is wrestling Grayson Tim, I believe. Tim 9-21 on the season. So Tim, Van Batavia, Tim into a double. Van Batavia tries to stretch it out. Keeps that whizzer, goes back. Some length here with Van Batavia. Tim just keeps working, now trying to pull him on, trip onto the mat. He should be the 2, and there's the 2. 2 points for Grayson Tim on the takedown. Again, Van Batavia weighed in at the 160-pound weight class, so wrestling up here. Maybe giving up a little bit of weight as Grayson Tim now works on top. Again, it's kind of what we've seen, a little bit more of the parallel ride, and then when they feel comfortable, they jump off to the side. As soon as they do that, Van Batavia gets to his base and is looking to use his length, I think, to stretch out, but nice job by Tim, and it looks like he may have trapped the arm.
And he's got about 30 seconds left here. Hammerlock position. He's going to put his elbow in his ear, try to stretch that arm out till he feels comfortable just like that to bring him over.
And this could be back points, and it could be worse.
He's got both legs in.
And there's the fall for Tim. Grayson Tim with a nice fall there for the Alexandria Cardinals. And kicks that lead to 37-10.
Looks like Park Rapids was deducted a team point there.
And we should get clarification on that soon, I would guess. And they were, Jesse, you were Johnny on the spot there. Now it's 37-9, so -1 team point at that stage.
That can be a big deal if the match was much closer. The unsportsmanlike conduct is actually the first criteria if the match were to ever be tied and come down to criteria.
Okay, so we have Anthony Teig coming out, a senior at 8-14. And Aiden Button, 10th grader, 4-8. So a little change up there, and we'll see if we see Pablo Garcia coming in. But a chance to get some kids some matches here, 37-9. And as the scoreboard, as I get that back up and running for you, I apologize for that. 37-9 in favor of the Alexandria Cardinals. We're at the 189-pound class, and we'll we have just a minute here. We'll let you know how this is going to go. We'll stay on this stream. We'll probably go away. You'll see a banner made nicely by Tanya Beachy for us for tonight's match. It'll come up. we'll get our paperwork all squared away, kind of look at what we need to get ready for the next one, and the winner of this one will take on the Perham Yellowjackets following shortly. I would guess it would be within 10-15 minutes, so don't go too far away. Get that popcorn made or whatever you're going to do. Stick with us and watch to see who moves on to Minnewaska tomorrow night into that Final Four type setup where it'll be cross bracket. The winner of this one, this little quad, so to speak, will take on the one that's in Thief River Falls. So if you're looking at your brackets, that's what's going to happen. And here we've got some major points, and also looking for a fall. Here is Teague from the Park Rapids Panthers. Nice job with where he's at, but good job by Button to keep his head up off the mat there. Definitely we got the 2-point takedown by Teague, and then a quick reversal. So we had the near fall of 3. Button with the reversal gives it 2, so we're at 5-2 at the end of that match, and it seems like each one we've had tonight, Jesse, and I'm going to try to hold on to your voice a little bit so you can stick with me for the final one. But again, each and every one of these matches has kind of ended with some fireworks here, and with that being said, Button is going to take the down position, looking to kind of narrow that gap some more. Again, Button up to that tripod stance, now trying to peel the hands. You'd like to see him get some more separation from the hips. Nice kind of drag takedown there by Teague. And again, 2 wrestlers here going at it. Anthony Teague, a senior. 8-14 is the record I had on him against Aiden Button for the Cardinals. A 10th grader at 4-8, and a good matchup so far as we have 5-2 on our scoreboard in favor of Teague. Button coming up again. Now this time does a nice job with arching his back, gets the escape, adds 1 point, now 5-3 and within shooting distance of a takedown. Again, I know if you're Park Rapids, you'd love to see Teague get onto his offense here, as it ran pretty good in the first, and then he got reversed by Button. But it's Button with the shot, Teague with the counter shot, and he spins around back and gets the takedown. 7-3 lead, and I would think this is one of them. It's probably not going to make a difference in the end, but if you're Park Rapids, it sure feels good if you can add some bonus points to the way this match has gone. Button faces. Teague holding on to one leg yet, so no change. 20 seconds, a little bit of a elevator type throw, but he's tries for the headlock, and again, a lot of scrambling going on. No points awarded. We're under 10 seconds remaining. This one's going to go into period number 3. I take that back. We have some back points happening here, so I think he's going to get enough to get 2. And he does, so Teague tells me to not get so excited and get to the third period, as he scores 2 more and makes it 9-3. And again, he's looking for some bonus points for sure. Button takes the down position here, or maybe Teague took the top. I should have watched. He ended up in the bottom position again, so maybe Teague took top. Again, it's got to be Waring here, being in the down position, and both wrestlers doing a nice job. Again, you'd really a 2-point near fall here would run this to a major decision. And again, you wonder how long you go. Usually about the minute mark left to go in the third period is when, if it's not happening, you go try something different and maybe let him up. Arm may be trapped. It's hard to see right now. Nope, arm's free. Teague doing a good ride on top. Button is on his base, so I don't think he's in any danger of getting a stall call. I don't see Teague really forcing the action enough to get this. Button sitting out now. Again, you always worry when you get this huge arch if you can get some sort of chin drop or pull them back, just kind of like that. And now you're getting those back points, but a good spin. It looks like he's holding 2. And then we should be getting an escape here, and we do. So 2 points for near fall for Teague. Escape by Button. 11-4. Now Button in on a double. He's coming out the backside. You'd like to see him pass through. We're down under 20 seconds remaining. And here comes Button, and what a way to end it for Button too, as now he gets another takedown. And looking for some back points as it's 11-6, and a reversal right there by Teague. Kind of puts his stamp on this match, and he's not going to get that bonus point as it's 13-6, 7-point victory. Anthony Teague, your victor, with a 13-6 regular decision. Now with that team point being taken away, adding 3 more on makes it 37-12 in favor of the Alexandria Cardinals. Again, we talked about earlier, Alexandria beat Park Rapids area 51-16. So if you look at it that way, without the bonus point, it's a better battle here tonight by the Panthers.
At 215 pounds from Park Rapids, Cooper Dutchuk. And from Alexandria, Pablo Garcia.
Okay, making some adjustments on my board. We've got Cooper Darchuk, a 9th grader, 6'11", bumping up into the 215-pound class, and we've got Pablo Garcia doing the same. So both of these wrestlers bumping up. Garcia looking for that early takedown, and he gets it. So takedown for Garcia. Garcia is a senior, 12-16 on the year. Cooper Darchuk is a 9th grader, 6'11", so definitely this one, you're probably looking at Garcia as a heavy favorite. And again, he's showing that with that early takedown, but Darchuk is fighting on the bottom. Garcia looking like he's trying to make, that series. He almost looked like he was trying to get that butcher or that half power, half inside there, doing a nice job as Darchuk. He stands up, faces him. Looks like no point awarded, but very close by Darchuk. A nice looking 9th grader here for the Park Rapids area Panthers as he did a nice stand up, faced his opponent, and almost had 1 point escape there if it wasn't for the edge of the mat. Comes back up again. Great mat return there. Great mat return there by Pablo Garcia. We're running under 30 seconds. Again, if you're just joining us, 37-12 in favor of the Alexandria Cardinals. So in theory, well, not in theory of what we know, they will move on to face the Perham Yellowjackets. We'll try to get you some scores from around our Section 8 AA tonight. Maybe I can get Jason or Jesse on that a little bit too as we have a little break in between here. Try to let you know what's going on. Again, the winner of this one faces the Perham Yellowjackets coming about 15 minutes after the completion of this one. Stay tuned. We'll stay on this same stream. We'll keep this rolling for you. Again, we would like to thank Park Rapids area schools, Alexandria schools and Perham schools for their ability and cooperation for bringing this to you. As we just love it, and we hope you do too. There's nothing better than section wrestling time of year. Pablo Garcia just kind of working that arm across the top. Pablo trying to pull him across, and I apologize. Both Jesse and I running a little cold here, but we're going to battle through and give you the action. Pablo threading that elbow up in there, trying to get into that arm bar, but Nice job, and that time he got it threaded up further elbow to elbow. Now dragging him over the top, and the Alexandria Cardinals fans up on their feet, and there's the fall for Pablo Garcia. And again, that fall again adds to Alexandria's lead. They're up now 43-12. Pablo Garcia with the fall will head into 285 pounds. We had some different, I think we'll have some different names than maybe what you'll think, but we'll see what's happening.
At 285 pounds from Park Rapids, Dondre Johnson. And from Alexandria, Jackson Werber.
Jackson Werder, 11th grader, 21-9 on the season for the Alexandria Cardinals. Luke Monum must not be wrestling tonight, or maybe saving for against the Yellowjackets coming up here. He is facing on to DeAndre Johnson, a junior, 23-3. So this has the makings of a really good match. Werder 21-19, Johnson 23-3. Early shot taken by both wrestlers. Johnson in on probably the better one. Werder gets out of it. Nice work by both wrestlers. Little body lock position here. We're trying to go both underhooks here is Werder and not getting to that inside. So one underhook, one overhook. Again, he goes for the throw. Johnson says, not today. And he gets the takedown, does Johnson. And he's looking for some fall points for himself and to cap off a really good year for him going into section time and putting a stamp on as he's getting this in there tight. 23-3 on the season is this Johnson, and he's looking to make it 24-3 with the fall, but Werder trying to squirm out of it. Now Johnson puts heavy on the leg, puts some pressure. 30 seconds remaining, long time to fight out of this if you're Werder. Again, squiggling through, I've always felt like it's kind of like quicksand, and there's the fall for Johnson. The more you squirm around, the tighter it gets. Johnson ends our night in this match, or this match not tonight, but ends it with a fall, runs the score to 43-18 in favor of the Alexandria Cardinals. So what does that mean for us? Well, what it means is Park Rapids team season is now over. And Park Rapids came in tonight with an overall record of 12-9. They were on a 4-game winning streak. They lose tonight, so their final record will be 12-10. What does it mean for the Cardinals? Cardinals will live to fight another match, and they'll come up against this side's number 1 in the Perham Yellowjackets. The Alexandria Cardinals with that win now are 22-11 on the season, and that now makes a 4-game winning streak for them as well on the year. Great matches all around. Both teams with great effort. Again, you like to see that. You know that they're getting ready for the individual tournament as well. And we're looking forward to some really good action. We'll have the Alexandria Cardinals facing off against the Perham Yellowjackets in about 10 or 15 minutes here, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. Perham still warming up in the wrestling room. You know Alexandria is ready to go. So again, we'll just want to take this time again as Park Rapids ends their season. We want to wish them well in individual tournament, congratulate them on a hard-fought season as everybody who's wrestled before knows what a grueling season it could be. We want to thank them for their hard work this year and for what they put out on the mat. And we'd also like to thank their school district for making this possible tonight and allowing us to bring this to you. We'd also like to thank Alexandria as they'll be coming up against the Perham Yellowjackets. Their school, again, excited to have this being brought to you live tonight, just as excited as we are. And we also like to thank the Perham Yellowjackets School District for them also aiding us and being here as the stands are starting to fill. So where we're at right now is we'll have a little bit of warm-up time for the Yellowjackets, a little bit of breather time and warm-up time for the Alexandria Cardinals. We'll be back in probably about 4 or 5 minutes with Cardinals and Jackets, and we'll set you up with what we think might be some possible lineups. The way things are moving, we just don't know, but we'd like to thank you for tuning in. We'd also like to thank Tanya Beachy again for her graphics that you're going to see coming up, and Jason Groth for pushing the buttons and making this all come possible. So stay on this stream. We'll be back in about 5 minutes or so, maybe a little bit less, for your next matchup between the Perham Yellowjackets and the Alexandria Cardinals. Welcome back into the Hive as we're going to go in the second round of our evening. If you did not get to join us earlier, the Alexandria Cardinals were victorious over the Park Rapids area Panthers, ending their evening tonight. The Yellowjackets, now the number 1 seed coming in to play here, will face off against the Cardinals. So looking for really good matchup. Cardinals wrestled really well to start with. Had some changes in their where they were at and what they were doing. We'll kind of give you a little heads up. Alexandria with that win earlier is 22-11 on the season. Now on a 4-game win streak. The Perham Yellowjackets come into tonight 12-10, wrestled a lot of individuals, but I think when you look at some things, the key is I look at, Jesse, is their record in the section. Alexandria 6-4, the Perham Yellowjackets 5-1 with their only loss to Dilworth Glendon Felton, who's probably already wrestling tonight as well. So both of these teams have had success against Section 8 AA.
Absolutely, and these teams met earlier in the year. It's hard not to dwell on that win. You know, as much as you say, forget it, flush it. This is a whole new ball game here in February. Anything can happen. Matchups can be different. Look for the Yellowjackets to come out ready to roll. Yeah,
speaking of that win, the Yellowjackets defeated Alexandria 45-9. I know Alexandria were without a couple wrestlers. One in particular, Nolan Fettig did not wrestle in that one, and he's 6 points waiting to happen at any time. So those things can change. And you start to think, well, it's only 6 points. Well, you also maybe take 6 points off the other team. So it's almost a 12-point turnaround in some of those places. Some interesting things for tonight. I don't know if Luke Monham's wrestling. Really quality heavyweight, 25-14 on the season. Probably would be favored at heavyweight for them if it would go down to the final. Yellowjackets, I'm sure, don't want to leave any doubt up to that point. You don't want it going into the heavyweight match if you're the number 1 seed. But again, you see some firepower from these Cardinals. That gets a little scary at times because they can roll some pins back to back to back. The good thing is, I think it has to fit in somewhere around the Chandler Mickelson, and he's been known to be a stopper for the Yellowjackets.
Absolutely. I have that section actually highlighted on my sheet, 127 to 145 range. That's going to tell a lot about this duel and how it's going to end up tonight. Look for some great matchups, and again, we saw it from Alexandria earlier. They can put a lot of pins together and score a lot of points in a hurry.
Right, and I think if you're the Yellowjackets, again, Jason Groth always says it comes down to bonus points, but again, if you're the Yellowjackets, sometimes it's not scoring them, it's limiting them. And one of the things the Yellowjackets I've been impressed with all year, Jason, is their defense. As we got the captains coming out to the mat for both the Yellowjackets and for the Alexandria Cardinals tonight. But good defense sometimes, not unlike football or basketball or volleyball, leads to good offense, and wrestling is no different.
Absolutely, and I know at this time of the year, the way we used to do it was we used to go duel by duel. You told your man on your team, hey, your job's to go out there, stay off your back, limit bonus points. That's just as much as going out there and getting a win sometimes.
And again, this flip we talked about, it didn't seem like it mattered in the Park Rapids. It could as you roll in, and that's just the luck of the draw as we're going to get started tonight. Again, I'd like to thank all of the schools tonight, Park Rapids area, Park Rapids area, Alexandria Cardinals, and the Perham Yellowjackets, along with Jason Gross and then Tanya Beachy for bringing us this. And it looks like they're going through some starting lineups, which I think caught both of them by surprise. And again, you might be hearing him overpower us. We'll try to keep talking. Again, as we're coming to you live from Perham High School. So again, a nice job here tonight. Thanks again to Jason Groth for helping us out. And we're going to try to bring you the best coverage that we can bring tonight. You'll see the scoreboard will be in the upper left-hand column. We're trying to adjust some signals as we've got announcer Bruce Perrine on the air and bringing the energy like he should in a game like tonight. So again, we've got Alexandria Cardinals coming in, a lot of dual matches for them at 22-11 against the Perham Yellowjackets at 12-10. A lot more individual tournaments for the Yellowjackets, and I think have them come in pretty battle tested with seeing ranked guys, and it should be fun as we get going. Around the other area, we haven't received any scores. I thought maybe we would get something coming in. 4 different venues tonight, Perham being one, Pine River being another, Thief River Falls, and DGF High School being the 4 areas locations running these quads. And so again, going to be a fun night of wrestling here. You know, the Cardinals coming off the win are going to be pretty excited about facing off against the Yellowjackets, and right now really have nothing to lose as the Jackets come in as the 1 seed on this side of the bracket, DGF being the 1 seed on the other side of the bracket. And how this will play out is if it's 1 and 2, 1 and 2, the 2s will flip sides tomorrow night in Minnewaska, and you'll have the 1s from our side, the 2 from the other, match off against each other. So in theory, if things played out the way they should, if it was a chalk tournament, you'd have the Yellowjackets facing off against the Prowlers. Looks like we have Shane Tim coming out for the Cardinals, a 7th grader, 12 and 27 on the season against Dresden Wegscheid, a sophomore at 19 and 15. Tim in on that little longer shot like we saw earlier in the first match. Dres just trying to fight it off right here.
Dres doing a good job getting long. He's going to try to peel hands here and really put pressure on those shoulders, see if he can work behind. There's a stalemate.
Stalemate called. Nice job. I think you're going to see that more as action comes on. And we get further along in this tournament. You want to see the wrestlers wrestle, not in those positions where nobody can score. A little roll there by Dres. He comes sneaking around the back for 2.
Nice job by Dres. I don't necessarily think he was going for the pin out of that, just kind of setting up a takedown.
Yeah, I think he wanted to find a way to get to around to the other side of him, and that was the quickest way from A to B, and now Dres going to work on top. Again, Tim, a nice-looking wrestler, had a good match in the first round. Dresden's been waiting to be one of the bigger 107-pound wrestlers in the section, is finally there, I believe. Showing some good riding ability here as he's got that leg hooked up and putting some real pressure here on Tim.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job with that Iowa ride. You can see him elevating his back leg. That takes the whole bottom half away from that bottom wrestler.
Again, Tim kicks out, gets his leg back under him, now able to get to his base. Some hand fighting underneath there. If you can catch that action on screen, they're both battling to get their hands back. Dres goes across. And you probably hear the Cardinal coaching staff say, get wide. Dres does a good job now. Has some extreme pressure, kind of in a parallel ride situation here, so you're going to expect him to get to one side or the other, but the time runs out. And again, it's 2-0 in favor of Wegscheid, and they go neutral. Again, neither wrestler backing off. Nice shot there by Dres. Right in, gets his 2-point takedown, leading now 4-0 with 1:43 to go here. He's got the arm trapped underneath.
I'd like to see him try to run that over a little bit. He's got that Bismarck series, kind of that cross arm. Looks to be setting up a little bit of a tilt here.
Tim trying to look away, putting the pressure into his favor a little bit as he curls up here. Dres just trying to pull him over. Tim doing a nice job of fighting, but now gets into a power half situation. Tim slides out of that. Again, Dresden Wakeshide wrestling physical, and as that arm goes out in front, he snatches onto that right away. Now getting himself out to the side and up front, but not too far. And there comes Tim, shot out of a rocket for the escape. So nice work by Tim when it looked like Wakeshide was going to get some more points. Wakeshide right back into the offense, though.
I'd like to see Drez bounce that head in this position a little bit, move that bottom man to try to get a goal behind for 2 here.
Yep, little snap shuck would be a good situation here, but Tim ultimately is driving forward and now has his arm, or at least one, gets to 2, is trying to crawl underneath and maybe get himself on a spot where he can come out the backside. Drez does a nice job of grabbing the opposite ankle now and kind of pulling him together.
Yeah, it looks like he's got kind of a cradle attempt here. I don't think he'll be able to turn him here with 5 seconds to go.
Does get the 2-point takedown though. Runs the score to 6-1. Nice fight by both of these wrestlers as we have a little blood timeout here by Tim. He sees Colton Lehman. We would like to thank Colton Lehman too, and also Coach John McEachern down there doing the blood work for both of these teams, and it's just awesome to have people right on the spot that really know what they're doing and can help these athletes get right back onto the mat. Again, some really good wrestling here. One of those where you'd like to feel secure at 6-1. You know, it's just one of those things. Tim takes down Dresden. Wakeshide lets him up. So now it's 6-2. Dresden must be feeling good about a shot right back there on the leg into the double. Nice series there by Dresden Wakeshide.
Really nice job getting elevation on that double leg.
Again, now he's going to go to work on top, and again, looks like the coaching staff, along with Dresden Wakeshide, has decided to do the takedown game instead of trying to get the points. Escape for Tim, takedown Wakeshide. Again,
beautiful little misdirection duck under there by Drez. He's kind of feeling his offense. He's got to work out of this position to try not to let Tim break his action here.
So 10-3, again, it's that 7-point. That 7-point take lead here. He'd definitely like to get some, but Tim did a nice job, Jesse, of not just sitting there. He went right back onto the leg, now into the stalemate position, and again, a chance for Dresden Wakeshide to try to pick up those points. Like a little shout out to the Hendrickson family watching us from Florida. Thanks for tuning in and looking forward to the day we get to call Sully Hendrickson's name out on the mat. Again, you got to watch. You can't get those legs crossed around the head or it will be a penalty point. I've been impressed with Tim all along here, Jesse. He's behind in this match, but a super job for a 7th grader scrambling out of these positions, and that's something that's just natural. I don't know that you can teach that.
Yeah, they're definitely... You can see Tim has a high head here. They say the high head in this position wins, and you're going to see him looking like he might come out the back here.
Again, we got a potentially dangerous there. 10-4 is your score. Dresden Wakeshide looking to pick up that takedown in the last 19 seconds. And on an early shot is Dresden Wakeshide. Tim goes back. He goes over the top, kind of in that ankle pass position, but Dresden catches him with his arm.
Dresden's going to have a possibility at some back points.
And maybe a pin. Dresden Wakeshide with a big catch there, Jesse, and he's got him tight, and the time runs out. What he does accomplish is he gets to that major decision with a 15-4 decision, making it 4-0 on your scoreboard, with the Yellow Jackets leading, heading in to 114 pounds. But keep hold of that Tim name, as I think that might be one to watch coming up here.
He definitely battled the whole match.
Riley Galbranson, a 9th grader, 10-22 on the season, out on the mat for the Cardinals against young Mr. Peyton Trout, another 7th grader. So you see these 7th graders, Jesse, getting some mat savvy early in their years. Good wrestling coming up here. Peyton Trout, a 7th grader, 7-18 on the season. Galbraithson in on an early single, but Trout fends it off and it goes around for the takedown.
Trout doing a great job crashing his hips down. He was able to break the hips of his opponent there to go around for 2.
Nice job by Trout, and he just watched him get steadily better as the year has gone on, just more comfortable on the mat. Again, 2 really good coaching staffs here, both by the Yellow Jackets and the Cardinals, and yelling out and helping their kids along the way as they get going. Trout doing a nice job on this ride, bringing it under a minute. When Galbraithson is looked early to be in on Trout and thinking he was going to take the early lead. Peyton Trout, son of Kyle Trout, the assistant coach for the Yellow Jackets, and just amazed, Jesse, at how calm Coach Trout stays watching his son on the mat. Very, very calm influence for his son, I'm sure.
Well, and you can see that carry over to Peyton on the mat, too. Peyton, very calm mat presence. He takes his time and has really great technique, as you can see as he works his opponent over here for some near fall.
And it looks like he's getting as the swipes are coming, and definitely in for the 3 count here. Might not be in position to pin as time's going to run out on him, but he's sinking it in tight. Definitely going to get the 3 in a nice first period for Peyton Trout as he takes a 5-0 lead heading into period 2. Galbraithson's choice, he takes the down position. Again, got to be a little bit nervous taking the down position when Trout has rode you, but early up and then try for that flip, which could be a dangerous move because you can find your shoulders exposed very quickly.
Trout's done a great job all year stopping that first move of the bottom man, getting to where he can be successful and getting to his ride. You'll see him up on his toes, driving forward. A lot of time you don't see that specific technique out of 7th graders.
Yeah, he's got a very veteran ride presence where he gets those shoulders, his chest tight on the shoulders of his opponent, and then when he feels the right time, he sneaks out to the side like he's doing right here. And really, Galbraithson hasn't got his head off the mat much, and again, Trout looking for his opportunity as he's got the arm pinned behind. Galbraithson spins with him.
You can see him burying his chest here. He's going to have another opportunity. He's getting back points, taking his time, and there's the fall. Beautiful job by Peyton Trout there, going and getting a big pin for his team.
Right, and those are those early points and those early bonus points that kind of take the wind out of the sails. The Cardinals came out. They were probably ready to rock and roll after the defeating Park Rapids. Quick 10-0 lead for the Yellow Jackets as we head into 121 pounds tonight.
Pounds from Alexandria, Alex Adams.
Okay, so we see what's happening first. We have Alex Adams on the mat for the Yellow Jackets against Isaac Seward. Seward is a 10th grader, 7-11. Isaac Adams is 0-2, I believe, and they're bumping up, going to bump up their Alexandria's wrestlers coming up here to take on and hoping they gain some points here. Seward got Adams in a bad way right now and a long time on the clock.
Yeah, he did a good job running that over. He's got it pretty tight. Adams doing a good job fighting down there, though. A lot of time left.
Holding, and then when he flips his hips, makes me nervous there. Doing a good job keeping off of his back. And a great job by Adams there. That's a tough fight. The move is different, so near fall 3 for Seward makes it 5-0.
Seward with a tight crossface cradle.
Again, he's going to get for sure another 3, but you know what the Cardinals are looking for. They're looking to close the gap at 10-6 and close the gap fast. Again, tough position for young Alex Adams, another 7th grader on the mat for the Yellow Jackets. This is in tight, and it's a no-win position, Jesse, to be in. You're either going to last the last 25 seconds with this tight move on, or you're looking at the fall.
Little adjustment by Seward there. Adams doing a really good job keeping that shoulder up. Under 15 here to go in the period. It'd be awesome if he could hold on.
Again, it looks like he's got a shot to hold on, but it doesn't take long for that to change.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that says a lot
nice
about
job by Alex Adams.
young Alex Adams there. That's a lot of grit to hold on in that position.
Another near fall. 3 makes it 8-0, so already into the bonus points. Again, but you live to have a chance, and it takes one headlock. We've seen it time and time again. Jesse, one headlock, and all of a sudden, the tide has turned. Again, Alex Adams, it looks like just kind of trying to stay out of harm's way right now. A nice takedown there for Seward. Now it's 10-0. They're looking, again, he's been in this position, and you got to almost feel for Alex Adams' arms right now, Jesse, as it's been constant pressure and constant pulling. And again, now it looks like he's got the arm bar in, and again, he's locking that chest tight. And again, this is where we've said if the wrestler goes slow, works his way over, gets that knee up by the ear, all of a sudden you're going to go backwards. Alex Adams doing a great job fighting it off.
Yeah, Alex finding a way to kind of slide with him.
This is
Seward,
tight.
Yep,
And
Seward
there's the
did a
fall.
good job running that right over his ear. Not a whole lot the bottom man can do.
And again, we talk about the Yellow Jackets jump out early, Jesse, with that 10-0 lead, but those pins are so crazy, and this changes the game a little bit because now you're moving some really good wrestlers for the Cardinals into these positions.
Yep, this is the part I had highlighted. These next 3 matches are going to be huge for the Yellow Jackets.
So we have Nolan Feddick bumping up from 121. This is one tough customer, Jesse. 30-0 on the season, number 3 in the guillotine, maybe a poke to the eye. He walks off the mat. Good restart here. I don't think anything was meant by that. It just happened. So Feddick, number 3 in the guillotine on the latest poll, 30-0 after the pin victory tonight. He will be going up against Ike Adams, a 9th grader, 13-16 on the year. Don't let that record fool you. Ike is a returning state entrant from last year, has wrestled kind of like tonight, always seems to pick the tough hombre from the other team. So let's see what Ike Adams has to go. What a good tune-up for individuals for Ike Adams to see one Nolan Feddick.
Yeah, you know something about Ike is he's never going to shy away from competition. As you can see, he's trying to work his offense here. You know Ike's going to give you 6 minutes.
Want to thank Jesse Hind for stepping alongside of me. My name's Lance Rock. Jesse battling through the cold. Beth, if you ever want to get after him, and tonight will be the night he won't be able to yell back at you. He's battling that cold, and I don't want to be a spoiler alert. Girls basketball game going on in Pelican Rapids. 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Perham 23, Pelican Rapids 22. Again, Ike Adams gets a restart. Again, 0-0 tells you how tough Ike Adams is defensively. Good shot there by Feddick. Feddick drops down into a leg, looking maybe to trap that. Nope, brings it up, shelves it, looking maybe for the trip. He's going to have to do it. 20 seconds remaining. Ike trying to pull himself off the mat. Feddick trying to pull him on the mat. Again, weight difference might be Feddick bumping up a weight here. Makes a difference. 10 seconds remaining. Now he has it up on the shoulder. If Ike can stay up. Again, Ike with a nice bounce, and there's the 2 with 2 seconds remaining, Jesse. And wow, was that something.
Yeah, Ike did a pretty good job there. You know, controlling the hands, making Feddick work for that. You know, he's not 3 in the state for any other reason.
Again, Ike Adams is going to go to the down position. Again, this might be where size is a little bit different. Again, Fedig, probably a true 121 pounder. Ike Adams does get the escape there. I know Ike is a full 127 pounder. 2-1.
Ike doing a good job getting to his ties on his feet. So far, he's kind of controlled where he wanted to be, and it's kind of given Fedig some fits.
And we got a long time coming, Jesse, but I am about guaranteeing you the Cardinal coaching staff was thinking bonus points here, maybe wondering a little bit, 2-1. Another thing that we're going to talk about is a long-standing rivalry might be coming up next, and we don't want to put the cart before the horse, but I'm thinking we're going to see McGrain-Mickelson, I think, times 15 or how many times they've wrestled in their career. And again, it's been one of those wrestlers that's kind of been the arch nemesis for Mickelson, as McGrain's kind of had his number. We'll see how it goes. Two really good wrestlers will be coming up next, I believe, as Fedig's in on a deep double. This should be close to 2, and it is as soon as those hands went down.
Yeah, another nice double leg by Fedig there. Ike doing a good job, not sitting on the bottom. He's getting back to his feet, and he's working hard.
Again, 40 seconds remaining here. Great job by Ike Adams. And one thing I know about Ike is he's not coming out here just to hold off bonus points. He's coming out here to win this. And he's up against a really, really good wrestler. But again, you can see size difference. Someone weighing in under the 121 versus that 6-7 pounds when you're at the lower weight class is a lot to compensate sometimes just in length and strength.
Last 10 seconds of the period here. This is really where Ike needs to bear down, make sure he doesn't give up a takedown in this last
and
5 seconds.
Almost looks like Fedig was just ready to go into the third period. Ike is the one that becomes the aggressor. Again, brings both staffs up to their feet, telling their wrestlers what to do. Fedig going down to the down position. Ike's got a lot in his arsenal. That cradle can come across from anywhere, but Fedig's probably going to try to use his speed to get out.
Just like you said, good explosion from the bottom. He cleared his hands and hips, and he's out.
Again, and we're talking about Fedig. He's a sophomore, Jesse. So a sophomore at 30-0, 3 in the state against a freshman, and I want to give Fedig more age than what he has because he's been around and we've seen him in some really big positions for these Cardinals. Was that a stall or was that just a shoulder stretching out? I
must have missed that.
I think I missed it too. So we'll say no. I don't think that'd have been a pretty quick stall there if it was. 5-2 is your score in favor of Fedig. 10-6 in favor of the Yellowjackets. Some really good matches going to come into play here. Again, Fedig kind of driving the bus right now, and you wonder if Ike's trying to set up something. Fedig doing a nice job of kind of getting him off the mat, kind of backpedaling a little bit. Nice to see Ike re-engage here and go forward.
He's doing a good job staying in good position. I'd like to see him wait for his opportunity and hit it when it's there.
Again, I think some respect here for Adams, as Fedig hasn't been as aggressive as I thought he was going to be, as there he shoots in kind of on a shot, but the length of Adams is stretching him out. Fedig in pretty deep. Let's see what happens here. Hopefully not a stalemate. We want to see points one way or the other. Fedig trying to call up, Ike trying to get across, and there's the stalemate. Great job by both wrestlers here. We head in with 25 seconds, and again, one of those positions I'm sure Ike would like to go for the team. This is a little bit of a win, we'll say, with it being just a regular decision. And you don't want to give up anything big right here with under 10 seconds remaining. Fedig in on another single. Again, Isaac Adams fends it off, 5-2.
It's a good job by Ike there against a very quality opponent. Doing a good job. I know he's not happy with a 5-2 loss, but in the end, that's what we need out of him, is to work hard for 6 minutes like he did.
Exactly, and that's against, granted it's a weight class lower, but an undefeated wrestler. Nice job, Ike Adams. So this is the one we called earlier, Mason McGrain, a senior, 32-9 on the season. I know about every year these two have dueled against each other for the last 4 or 5 years at least. For the Yellowjackets, Chandler Mickelson, 12th grader, 23-6, and these are two quality wrestlers. And again, it's one of those that they might not see each other in the individual tournament, weighing in at different weight classes, but I'm sure glad we get to see it tonight.
It's definitely a treat. You can see right away both these guys, they know where each other are going to step. They know what each other wants to do. So who's going to commit to the first takedown here?
Right, and a long shot there by McGrain. Again, nice fend off, and he saw it coming. Was nice job by Mickelson
Nice
off
re-attack.
of that. He re-attacked down. This should be two.
Wow,
That's
McGrain
still
with a wizard.
Wizard still in.
Stay with that single. He's got to come to his feet.
And this is how these two have wrestled for like the last 4 or 5 times.
Ooh.
There's that headlock. McGrain puts Mickelson to his back. I saw a swipe and a swipe, so I think two. Mickelson coming out looking for the reversal. McGrain sliding off the mat here. We'll let all the dust settle and we'll tell you what's happening. For sure, takedown by McGrain is 2. They're looking for a restart. They're going to give 1 point escape, no back
No near
points.
fall.
And again, I think it was a 1 swipe, a delay, a 1 swipe, which kind of took that off the table. But again, it's those sorts of things McGrain has kind of had in his arsenal. It's that unknown headlock that comes out of nowhere off of a shot for Mickelson. Mickelson
Nice.
back in. This is 2.
Nice job by Chandler there.
Oh, he doesn't get it yet. Now he will.
Nice mat return. Yeah, but here we go, right back to it. McGrain not sitting on the bottom. Mickelson doing a good job kind of settling back in.
Yep, followed him. Nice initial attempt by McGrain to arch his back out, come out the side. Again, he gets up, he reaches for that leg of Mickelson tries to dump him. Again, Jesse, this could be, right at the edge of the mat and right at the end of the period.
The Alec crowd wants an escape or something there, but Chandler still had a leg in. He was in control.
And good thing, because 10 more seconds, and I think he may have been in harm's way. Again, Mickelson takes the down position. Mickelson leading 3-2, and what's been one of the best matches that I've seen in a while, and I expected no less. A switch attempt there by Mickelson. Nothing awarded yet as they're both kind of locked in here. Mickelson trying to come around the backside. McGrain making him chase him.
Really nice job putting his head in the hole there. See if he can finish for a 2-point takedown here.
Again, I would consider McGrain funky.
Absolutely.
He's got a lot of funkiness to him where Mickelson's expecting him to be one place and he comes rolling from someplace else. No points awarded yet, as this has been about a minute of back and forth between these two.
2-point reversal, Mickelson.
Chandler got to be careful here.
He did get the reversal of 2. 2-point reversal right back. And my goodness. Is there any way we can get these two to wrestle for 3 more periods?
Here we go again. I think the biggest thing for Chandler in this match is not to fall into that roly-poly, ideology here. He's got to stick to his technique, and a lot of these things can be eliminated.
Right, you just won't, again, but it's just, you just see McGrain.
Here he is with a nice
job.
crossface cradle, rolled him over. This is gonna be tight with just under 20 seconds. McGrain doing a good job squeaking out of there though.
2-point on the near fall.
Big points there by Chandler at the end of the period.
9-4, under 10 seconds remaining. Again, he's got it locked up again. McGrain sliding to the edge of the mat, and you just never know. 1-0, and that's the end of the period. Good period for Mickelson there. Continuous action, no doubt. Makes it tough for two guys with colds to try to keep up with these young men, but I expect nothing less coming here. And if it gets to the end, look out for McGrain doing some high flying.
If I'm the Yellow Jacket coaching staff, I'm saying, hey, let's stay below the knee. Let's not get into any high flying positions here. Trust your technique, stay after it.
And I think if you're Chandler, you got to finish what you start. You got to finish through, because it's those half shots where McGrain can get ahead. He starts to spin around, and it almost becomes his offense instead of your own. So again, if you're Mickelson, if you commit, go shoot to this thing and get it done. But boy, I don't think we're going to end up 9-4. I'd be really surprised.
Nice thing is Chandler is in the driver's seat right now. With that being said, he can't let up an inch.
No, and you're just thinking, here he
There's
comes,
two
and
right
this should
there
be
on the
two.
edge. Nice job.
And again, if you start thinking about it here, again, if they weren't on the edge of the mat, I really believe McGrain was finding his way out of that thing. And this is the kind of stuff right here. This is where he makes a living. He's just going to try to stack Mickelson up. Now Mickelson's got him stacked up, and there were points everywhere, but here we go back to the headlock, and the wilder it gets, the more McGrain feels good, I think. Again, 11-4, the lead for Mickelson.
This is the best spot Chandler can be right now. Rolling wrists underneath, keep him flat. Don't let him get into any of his wild positions.
Again, sorry for the scoreboard going out here. We got so into the match, we forgot to check on that. Again, Cradle being hooked up here by Mickelson. And all of this is just eating up time, Jesse. And 11-4 the score right now. And again, I think this is what you want. And there's a stall call on McGrain.
This is exactly what Dave Vetch wanted. He said, get your Iowa ride, get back to a hard ride on top, and put this thing away.
Again, it's going to be 11. It's going to be a 7-point deficit, which is going to be a regular decision. Last chance headlock there by McGrain. Mickelson with an 11-7 victory runs the scoreboard to 13-9 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Heading into 139 pounds, and let's see what happens now. There's multiple weigh-ins for both teams. Looks maybe like Tegan Detloff coming out here for the Yellow Jackets, and we'll find out who the Cardinals send out. Maybe Zachary Richardson.
39 pounds from Alexandria, Mason Evian, and from Perham, Detloff.
Okay, so they're bumping up the whole way through. Mason Evian, 23-11 on the season. He's coming out. He was their 133-pounder. Now bumping up to wrestle Tegan Detloff, a 9th grader, 34-9. Tegan with the early takedown. Escape for Evian. Get our breath back from that last match, and a nice job by Chandler Mickelson and against a really good wrestler in Mason McGrain. And they've had their battles throughout the years, that's for sure. Again, minute 13 left on the clock, 2-1 in favor of Tegan Detloff of Perham. As he's in on the single, they go out of bounds, restart in the center. Both wrestlers hustle back to the center. You gotta love the energy and the enthusiasm, and a great match to start with between Alexandria and Perham.
Tegan doing a good job trying to find his opening here. He's being offensive. It'll clear up eventually for him.
Again, that's one of the moves I like the best, is that little throw by. He's so good at that, Jesse, and I think it's his length that, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's his length that lets him shuck by so well. Nice takedown there by Detloff.
It's his length, and then he sets it up with a shot. So the guy's got to defend the shot. He's not thinking about that hard collar tie Tegan feels it, throws it right by, does a really good job.
Again, Tegan's got kind of that drop, and we're looking for points, and I don't know, it's a hard angle. I don't know if they missed it right off the bat. Tegan being relentless, though, up 4-1 here. Under 10 seconds remaining now on the score clock. Is these would be some big back points in the end. He got a 1 count. Now there's 2, so he should have 2 for sure. Looks like he's going to get a 2-point near fall.
Big points at the end of the period.
Yeah, those in the last 10 seconds we've talked about, Jesse, has just been huge. So 6-1 lead. Neutral is the position to get started with. And again, Detloff has been the aggressor so far. Not meaning, and there goes Evgen in just on a shot, but that length of Detloff is just so tough to get in. Once he sprawls out, he's a long ways behind you, and then he turns it into his offense.
He's definitely not looking just to defend. He's looking, how fast can I get to my offense? And he's always thinking score.
8-1 now, so next points for Detloff will run it into the major decision, and he's working on that. Evan with the escape. Again, Detloff back in the shot. Kind of met with that front headlock, but just too deep a shot by Detloff. Gives him another takedown.
He sure does a good job running to those legs.
He does. And he follows through on everything that he does here, and now he's looking for some back points. He's got that major in now at a 10-8 score. Maybe looking for a little tilt action there, it looks like. Pulling it back, gets him to sit in his lap here. He's going to have to, the thing is, you got to expose yourself a little bit to get those points. I wasn't sure. He must have gave 1 swipe, looked close to 2. Again, that's one of those tough positions. It's tough to trust yourself because 1 slip of the hands and now you're in harm's way. But Detloff again still on the offense, up 10-2 here in the second period. We'd like to thank you for joining us on the Perham Yellowjacket activities stream. Again, we'd like to thank all of these schools for coming together to get this on the air for you, and it's just a blast for us to call, and we hope that you're enjoying it if you couldn't make it here to the gymnasium tonight. Been a great match. Alexandria won the early one against Park Rapids area. Now Yellowjackets up 13-9. We're at the 139-pound weight class. Again, thank you to the schools. Thank you to Tanya Beachy for the graphics. And thank you for Jesse Hine for following along as another takedown for Detloff. 12-2 score here. Detloff trying to expose the back, and again, he does such a nice job as he's relentless on his movement, Jesse, and it's from one arm to one move to the next, and you can see just how many matches this young freshman has wrestled in his career as he's very calm and collective on the mat.
He doesn't let the bottom man get comfortable for very long.
Right, and it's not like they're not trying to get off the mat, off the bottom. They are. A lot of length there by Detloff. Again, both teams cheering on their wrestler. One to try to get that escape or maybe a reversal. And again, Detloff just seems to be in real command of this. 35 seconds remaining on the score clock. Again, nice ride here by Detloff. He's going to run this through. Oh, nice switch attempt there. Does get himself free. I don't know if he's going to get the one. Detloff tries the kind of a neck whip there and tries to get some extra back points or the fall. We're going to go in on this one. I'm going to call it 12-2 in favor of Detloff with the major decision. going to run the score to 17-9 in favor of the Yellowjackets. And we always talk about having a stopper. Do the Cardinals have a stopper here when 2 or 3 matches start to go the opposite way?
We've seen it too. When the Yellowjackets get rolling, they can be pretty dangerous. It's contagious.
Richards, and for Perham, Johnny Ramos.
145-pound weight class. Yellowjackets sent out Johnny Ramos, 10th grader, 15 and 13. Johnny with the early takedown. 2 against a really good wrestler. Again, bumping up are the Cardinals. So we see what they decided to do in there. They decided to try to take their time. They send out Zachary Richards, who's their normal 139-pounder, 11th grader, 25 and 16. Richards gets the escape.
Johnny Ramos wasting no time here. Hitting right on his offense. A nice little knee pick there.
And one of the things I do believe, I think this is one of those secret wrestlers kind of for the Yellowjackets. Not secret in you don't know the Ramos name, but secret that I think Johnny has a lot to give here. And I don't think we've seen the best of Johnny Ramos yet. And once it gets clicking, I think he can wrestle with anyone.
He definitely has some quick twitch that not everybody else has. And when he can channel it and use it, he's pretty dangerous.
Again, Richards for the Cardinals, junior, 27 and 16. And we have Ramos for the Yellowjackets, 10th grader, 15 and 13. Johnny with a nice shot right there. Into a finish, right to his back, but no back points. But nice job by Ramos. It seems like he is on the offensive prowl tonight. Again, different ways to get to the legs, but same result every time as he gets the takedown. Again, our score clock about to tick under 20 seconds here. Ramos looking, and there's escape and aggressive move. Nothing, I guess no harm, no foul there. So escape for Richards makes it 6-3, under 10 seconds to go. Richard maybe getting a little frustrated. Again, sometimes that's good. Sometimes you let off your guard and you allow your opponent to get the advantage. So Richards defers. Johnny says both up. Why not? You have 3 takedowns. Johnny working for that 4th takedown right here, front headlock position, looking to kind of pull, drag, snap around, maybe grab that near ankle. He gets to the knee. Nice job by Richards to kind of get to his base, not allowing Johnny to get there. Again, both coaching staffs, you can tell it is tournament time. They're up coaching their kids. Just a fun night here at the Hive. Starting out with Alexandria defeating Park Rapids. Johnny in on double. Richards, great defense again, then right back in by Richards. Johnny defends. Starting out with Alexandria defeating Park Rapids, and now we're at the 145-pound weight class with the Yellowjackets leading on your scoreboard 17-9 over the Alexandria Cardinals.
See if Johnny can bait him into a kind of a, never mind, he's going to take matters into his own hands with a nice double leg.
Done with some nice power right there. Kind of a no-doubter when you get that double leg wrapped up in there, and he just used his power and strength. Take Richards to the mat. So 8-3 Ramos. Again, I thought maybe this would be one of those toss-up matches as we work our way through. You wonder what there's an escape. So we got 4 takedowns for Ramos, 4 escapes for Richards. And I don't know if at some point we're going to get back to where we were as far as the matches and the weight. again, Alexandria decided early to bump up, and they've been bumping up all the way. Ramos gets in on the leg. Richards tried to spin it around. I thought there was nothing. Again, I think both squads were yelling for two there for a while. I thought Richards was in harm's way, and he did a nice job of just using his length to take Richards, and he's going up, Jesse. So again, feels like he can ride Ramos. Neutral hasn't been that good for him. We've got a caution.
Look for Johnny not to waste any time here. Get back to your feet. Stay on those low leg attacks. Keep rolling.
Nice job by Ramos. Hasn't gotten it yet because still on the leg is Richards. Again, I didn't know if Richards might be a cradler, like he wanted to break him down with that length. Still no escape for Ramos. Richards trying to work his way back into position. Again, probably as good as can be expected is a stalemate there. Richards has a little blood timeout. Again, we're at the 145-pound match. Definitely see some matches coming up. I don't know. It doesn't look like Luke Monum is going to wrestle at heavyweight or 285 for the Cardinals. I didn't see him in the first one. So again, that changes some things. If you are the Yellow Jackets, and definitely if you're the Cardinals, it may cause them to bump up early. And so far, I think it's been a mixed bag of results on the bumping them up. But again, 17-9 on the scoreboard. It's in shooting distance for either team right now.
Johnny again doing a good job getting to his feet, getting his hips cleared for a nice reversal. Right to work on a cradle. Look for him to take his time here. Take his time, work him right over that direction. One big hop, and you're over.
And again, I imagine you got to battle a little bit of Richards' length here. Richards doing a nice job of just kind of staying flat here and then trying to screw it, and might have broke it there, Jesse. And that seemed tight there for a second, and nice job by Richards getting out of that way, and he did.
Ramos again just staying in good position, preventing any big moves from happening here, staying in control.
And again, a nice sit and switch there. Looks like one. Again for Richards. Again, this is one of those scary ones, because if you get thrown here and you're to your back, all of a sudden we're tied 10-10. So look for Johnny Ramos to 25 seconds. Stay in good position here and just defend well. No stall calls on either wrestler, so you've got that in your back pocket as well. Here goes Richards coming up. I can about imagine we're going to see some sort of headlock or throw. 10 seconds remaining here.
Great job by Johnny staying inside ties there, driving the bus, making sure nothing crazy happens.
Again, Johnny, one way to take away that is to get to the leg of the other. He does. Kind of going to hold this off out of harm's way. Ramos with a 10-5 victory. For the Yellow Jackets is a regular decision. Gets our scoreboard to read 20-9 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. We're heading into 152. This will be interesting to see what happens. It might look like Zize coming out maybe.
At 152 pounds from Alexandria, Landon Day, and from Perham, Carson Zize.
So normal spot. We've had a Carson there all year long in Carson Byer. Carson Zize coming out after a little injury. Let's see. It's good to get him back on the mat. He comes out aggressive right away. Landon Day for the Alexandria Cardinals, a junior, 19 and 21. Zize with the takedown.
Zize going into this kind of bow and arrow position, putting a lot of pressure on the bottom man.
Zize, a ninth grader, 14 and 12 on the year, and like I said, coming off a little bit of an injury. Good to see him back on the mat and competing. And again, he's up 2-0 with the early takedown. Day in the down position. Again, Day working on a little bit of a sit out here. Again, Zize trying to flatten him out. Landon Day again, it looks like he feels comfortable maybe sitting out more than trying to get up on the mat. Now he's getting into that tripod type position. A lot of pressure here by Zize.
Zize doing a good job keeping pressure on the bottom man's hands.
Is that considered like a spiral ride? Was that what he was in there?
Yep. Yep.
Bad angle, but it looked like a spiral ride. Again, Day gets himself up.
Nice little dive under tilt there for Zize. Should get a 5 count here. Big points with 20 seconds left in the period here.
Official holding 3. You can see his hand on the mat. Holding 3 awards it, and here we go again.
This is deep here with 10 seconds left.
Long time to hold off. Day, Zize putting it in. There's the fall for Zize. Zize brings the Yellow Jacket fans to their feet with a big pin at 152, running the lead to 26-9, and you can kind of get that sense from the Cardinals that things are starting to unravel. But again, I don't think we're out of the way yet, but you gotta like when you have one of your captains coming out.
Alexandria, Gavin Engelbrecht, and for Perham, Carson Byer.
Carson Byer on the mat for the Yellow Jackets, bumping up from the 152-pound weight class. He is a senior, 26-11 on the mat. He's going to take on Gavin Engelbrecht. He's a 12th grader, 17-24, so a couple seniors going at it on the mat. And again, now it's the reverse way a little bit again. We've got Zize a little bit undersized compared to Engelbrecht, but again, there's no bigger fight in a guy than Carson Zize, and we've witnessed that all year, whether it was on the football field or whether it was on the wrestling mat, and I expect no less tonight. But again, Engelbrecht, a senior, 17-24 on the season, a lot of mat time, and again, a lot of length here for Zize to fend with, and it looks like Engelbrecht could have a shot, but they're going off the mat. He's trying to circle. Buyer's trying to circle off, and he does just that. Nice work by Byer there.
This Engelbrecht, last match, I kind of circled his name. He is one strong kid for this weight class.
Yeah, and he's doing a great job. And again, you can just see, again, the difference in why coaches don't bump up a lot of times. You can see the difference in just in the physical size. Byer drops down, straight down, and grabs him right to his back. Nice job by Byer, catches him. Again, no back points. I would tend to believe that it was a little bit, it could have been 2 there, but anyways, Byer with the takedown takes the 2-0 lead over Engelbrecht.
Byer with a nice adjustment there. His first couple shots were above the knee, kind of felt those hips. Last shot was below the knee. He was able to bring it up and finish for a takedown.
Both wrestlers seem pretty content to watch the time run out there. 2-0. Neutral is going to be the position here. Byer did have a couple nice shots. Again, getting to the ankle of Engelbrecht. So let's see if Engelbrecht does something different. Again, I'd almost see Engelbrecht go upper body, but again, Byer right down to that knee, does a nice job, wraps the leg, now gets that trip in, and Byer in a pretty textbook, now looking like he wants to go takedowns.
Really aggressive with Carson here, doing a good job getting to where he wants to be, staying below the waist, not allowing that size of Engelbrecht to be a factor.
Again, another takedown by Byer. And looking at his coaching staff like, what now? What do you want me to do? And again, I think he's found that he can get to the legs of Engelbrecht. Engelbrecht's going to have to change up his wrestling pattern a little bit here. Otherwise, you could see Byer drop down. I think Byer's got a feel for him right now. And there it was. Engelbrecht almost takes a breath, and Beyer realizes that and is in on, this time, a double leg. Escape Engelbrecht. Beyer right back onto the...
You can see the raw power of Beyer there, bumping up a weight class, now kind of getting a feel for his opponent here. Getting a few big takedowns this period.
Again, using his speed. And sometimes that's the thing we don't think about, is it's more than just sheer size. It's also that quickness that can lead you to getting some points. So Beyer up 10-3. Again, nice job. Beyer's been in and out of the rankings this year in the guillotine. Again, looking ahead just a little bit, his weight class looks like it could be loaded. Now, you'd never know who's going to bump up, who's going to go to different weight classes, but kind of circled that 152 as one of those weight classes that are going to have some tough hombres in there. And I know there's a couple, Chance Abraham, Ethan Lane, both rated in the state. Carson Beyer's been rated in the state. And then at 160, it's not quite so loaded up as I think everybody wanted to get away from Mr. Griffin Lundeen. But there's an opportunity for a state berth there. See if one of those guys go up. Beyer in again. Again, it's 10-4. Beyer does a nice job coming out the backside, does a nice job.
Really good job.
Impressed with how he followed him, Jesse. I think that was, he never let that leg get too far away with a tall kid. He did just a really nice job.
Yes, he cleared his ankles well, kept that space, but still maintained enough to get that takedown.
Yeah, nice job by Beyer, and now he's got that 8-point lead. Again, you got to feel comfortable. It looks like he was pushing him out of bounds. I don't think the escape was awarded, so we'll go back to center. And the official does just say that. Engelbrecht take down. Beyer, by giving the two hands, says he's going to go optional start and gives up the escape to Engelbrecht. So now giving up definite confidence in Beyer here, giving up that major decision by giving up that escape, goes into the front headlock, picks that side ankle, doesn't get it. Engelbrecht does a better job of fending it off this time.
Beyer's been getting him to reach quite a bit. Every time he reaches for that collar tie, Beyer's able to change his level and get to his legs. Just like that.
Yeah, talk about getting a good read on somebody. Beyer gets the next takedown.
I'd love to see Beyer get a pinning combination hooked up here with 20 seconds left and get some near fall.
Up by 9, has the major kind of locked up here. Again, working on some stuff. Nice workman-like victory here for Beyer if it stays that way against a really quality wrestler. Again, Engelbrecht is a senior, 17-24, and he hasn't given up the battle either. Still trying to score to the end, but too much Beyer tonight. 14-5 major decision for Carson Beyer, and the score continues to grow for the Yellowjackets. 30-9 in favor of the Yellowjackets, and just to remind you, they wrestled earlier in the year. 45-9 was the final score in that one, and I know Alexandria had a couple wrestlers out, and they may have a couple wrestlers out yet tonight, which will lead to
From Alexandria, Grayson Tim, and from Perham, Tristan Larson.
So again, a little bit of a change up here for the Yellowjackets. Some bumping around happening. Carson Tim on for the Cardinals. He is 9-21. He is going up against Tristan Larson, a 10th grader, 15-7, and these two look like they're ready to throw.
Tristan with a nice neck wrench there, set it up really nice. See if he can settle in here for the fall.
Again, Tim looks like he's got some pretty good flexibility, and shoulder kind of sneaks his way out of there. Nice job by Larson just to follow him. I thought that was going to be an escape. 3-point near fall for Larson makes it an early 5-0 lead, not even a minute into a cradle. off the mat. Of Yellowjackets liking that they thought Larson had a foot or 2 feet in, and no such luck there as Larson leads 5-0. Tim taking the down position. Straight up by Tim, mat return by Larson. Again,
nice catch cradle by Tristan, but he kind of gathered himself there. He's getting some near fall.
That was dangerously close to Tristan being on his back, but now getting some near fall points. I think he had enough to get 3, and he did. Again, that's the one. Sometimes things that are lucky are better than good, and I thought there for a second we were going to see Tristan in harm's way. He did a nice job not panicking, holding on to his position, takes an 8-0 lead. We're at about 13 seconds remaining on the score clock. Again, Tristan looking for some more offense. Again, picks up Tim to no avail. Again, I think time is going to run out, and it does. Larson up 8-0 at the end of 1.
Big thing for Tristan here moving on is let's be smart about what positions we put ourselves in. We don't need to get caught for 5 here, but yet still be aggressive. Go continue to score points.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there, Jesse. Be smart and aggressive all at the same time. Tristan definitely has the capability as Tim gets the escape and gets himself on the scoreboard. And I would watch out for Tim here as he's a long character, but nice job by Larson right back in on that.
Beautiful double leg transition. This looks pretty tight.
Official getting a good look at it, getting right down on the mat. Again, Tim's had a good way of getting out of these. I'm not sure how. Ultimately is able to kind of just pivot his body, and there's the fall by Larson. And again, now things kind of running away here from the Cardinals. Started out well. You can look back at a couple matches where they may have thought they had an advantage. Didn't it fall their way, and then things start to spiral just like this.
At 189 pounds from Alexandria, Pablo Garcia. And from Perham, Jackson Vetch,
excuse me, out on the mat for the Perham Yellowjackets. Jackson, a senior, 19-16 on the year, been around the wrestling program. His dad, the head coach, Dave Vetch, doing an awesome job with the Perham Yellowjackets, got them in a good position. Pablo Garcia on the mat for the Cardinals, also a senior, 26-16, so one of those that could be an even matchup here, Jesse. And even though these young men are looking, even though the scoreboard's kind of out of whack right now, they're looking to get on a roll, going to Minnewaska tomorrow night, and then on to Glendon the next week for individuals.
Yeah, you can definitely tell Jackson wanted to get to his over-under position, waiting for Pablo to give him a little bit of resistance. I wouldn't doubt if we see a throw one way or another here, Lance.
Yeah, it seems like whenever we have Jackson Vetch on the mat, it's thrown or be thrown, and you kind of live and die by the sword, so to speak. But here we go. Again, it seems like Pablo going into that trip mode. Again, nice job. Better job that time by Jackson, bellying out of there instead of fighting to the end. But here goes Pablo Garcia. Again, nice job by Jackson.
Nice gravity roll by Jackson. See if he can get behind and just maintain this.
We got to get
reversal.
his 2, but Garcia with a great move there, under 20 seconds, not giving up the 2. And again, sometimes that's more deflating than anything else, more than you think you have it, and then all of a sudden it's gone. Vetch trying to get the .1, so I would say we're going to go into period number 2, 2-0 in favor of Pablo Garcia. And man, really kind of admiring his flexibility and how he got out of that move. Not many get out of that Grammy move by Vetch. So Vetch takes the down position here to start period number 2.
Vetch giving up a little bit of weight in this weight class. He weighed in at 172 tonight.
And again, we've seen that all night, Jesse, where it's been back and forth. Those kids, you know, you might almost be a better wrestler, but giving up weight is huge. And when you start talking about this weight class, you're talking about kids weighing in at 174 or 191. That's a lot. And Garcia's one strong kid. You can see that as he is having no problem mat returning Vetch right now, and he's kind of working on what he wants to work on. So Vetch has to get up on his base, get that head off the mat, and get working here. And Garcia's trying to stretch him out, pull those legs out, get himself going. So again, a lot of action, not much scoring to this point. If Vetch has a chance to get the escape here, I think you can go. And Pablo Garcia with a nice trip there right on the edge of the mat. And man, we're seeing some really good things by Garcia.
I think a big key for Vetch is to keep coming to his feet. If you can keep coming to your feet, that'll prevent the top man from working any holds he wants to get to.
Well, and you want to put some pressure on Garcia here to continue to bring you down on the mat. And again, it's a lot easier to defend someone when they bury their head on the mat. So Jackson does a little half roll there, trying to get himself back up. Garcia picks the arm up. Now he's just putting some ultimate pressure. He does look like he has the arm bar in there without getting Jackson flat, and now he does. Now we could see some action here as he starts to roll him over, and he hasn't rolled over, and we're back points, and he's looking for more. Again, sometimes you get sucked under too far, and it looks like Garcia might be, but boy, he's got some ultimate pressure on. You can see Vetch settling towards the mat here. Garcia, that's a lot of weight on those shoulders. Garcia resettling in now. Still hasn't been awarded the points. Resettles in. This looks, end of the period is I wasn't even watching. I was so settled in. Near fall, 3 points for Garcia. He gets 3 points near fall, makes it 5-0. Again, coaching staff comes out to check on Jackson Vetch. A lot of pressure on those arms. He says, I'm ready to go. He's going to go to the down position. Again, Garcia's been pretty dominant on top so far, Jesse. And again, I'm sure he's looking for another turn. Vetch is looking to get out. And again, we got potentially dangerous here as he tries to lock that arm back in. Get that arm bar rolling, and a good communication there between wrestler and referee, asking him, wasn't I in deep enough on that elbow? And he says no.
A lot of times when that hand comes forward up over the shoulder blade in an arm bar position, that's called a chicken wing, and that's illegal. Puts a lot of pressure where there shouldn't be. Again,
nice job by Vetch first time, but great mat return by Pablo Garcia. Vetch turns into him. They're off the mat. Again, guys rolling around. Again, it's that edge of that mat. The good thing for Garcia, he was going off into the Cardinal territory, so coaching staff was there for him. Again, Garcia, if we had riding time, if this was college, he'd be picking up another point because he has been dominant on top. And again, Vetch coming up. You know what Vetch is going to look for. He's going to want to get out and right into a throw situation. Garcia does a nice job holding on to that leg. Again, Vetch doing a nice job showing his gymnastic ability and keeping his balance. And again, they go off the mat, and Vetch does get the escape.
got a minute to go here, down by 4. This is what you work on in the room.
And again, we know what Vetch likes to do. He is definitely a toss high throw guy. Again, one of the things that I've seen with Garcia, though, is his strength. He doesn't mind going chest to chest. So again, might be a battle of wills there, and nice job by Garcia just dropping down on a leg, getting down to the knee.
Vetch doing a good job dropping his hip, trying to go for that opposite leg, trying to make something happen with just under 30 here in the third period.
Right, you can see Vetch working extremely hard here. Again, it's just been one of those where Garcia's met every one of his, and again, you can watch him know that Jackson wants to throw. He's kind of backing a little bit. Again, he doesn't have a stall call, so probably a good strategy here. Don't get into harm's way in the last 10 seconds. And you can hear the coaching staff go, no, there's that first stall warning, but it's as the buzzer sounds. So Garcia gets the win by decision, 5-1, bringing our scoreboard to 36-12, heading into 215 pounds. And again, a little delay here as we're waiting for the 215 pounders to come out.
At 215 pounds from Alexandria, Aiden Button. And from Perham, Cash Burke.
So Button comes out, Aiden Button for the Cardinals at 215. I'm not sure where he weighed in, but a 10th grader at 4 and 8. I think you can bump up 2 weight classes if I'm correct, Jesse, so that probably would be okay yet, as I had him as a 172 pounder, so I don't know where he weighed in. You maybe can look at the sheets quickly, as I got so many papers going on here. Going against Cash Burke, but let's get Aiden Buttons, a 10th grader, 4 and 8, trying to figure what he weighed in tonight, but it's got to be the right thing here, going up against Cash Burke. Cash Burke usually wrestles heavyweight for the Jackets, are 285. He weighed in at 215 tonight. He's coming in as a junior with a 10-21 record. So again, a toss-up. Size may be a little difference, but Button looks pretty good size here.
I know he wrestled 215 last match. I'm sure he weighed in at 89 probably.
Yeah, that would make more sense. And again, maybe he cut down early, and now this is the spot they want him, so he can put a little bit more back on. Good match here for both of these wrestlers, probably needing a win. Button had a really good match in the last one. Was impressed with him as a younger wrestler with what he could do on the mat. So Button, Burke, 215, 25 seconds remaining here in period number 1. Again, I'll give you an update on the girls basketball. If you don't want to hear, tune out for just a second. Perham Yellowjackets pull away late in that one to win 57-52 over Pelican Rapids, and maybe one of those, that could be a final coming up here at tournament time. So again, a nice win by TJ Super and his ladies tonight. And again, the Yellow Jackets cruising on their way here, looking for a matchup tomorrow night in Minnewaska. Burke takes the down position here.
Cash doing a good job coming to his feet. I'd like to see him clear his hips a little bit more as he gets up there to put a lot of pressure on the top man.
Again, a little explosion there, for Cash just to finish that. He gets to a good position, then allowed Button to take him back down to the mat. Button doing a nice job here with the ride. Not really looking for a ton of offense right now, but he's doing a good job. Burke trying now here to tripod up. There's that explosion by Burke. Nice job.
Nicely done.
And he's
got to settle in over the hips here. Good job by Cash.
Cash gets the reversal and 2 points there. Again, in the earlier this year, Perham defeated Alexandria 45-9. Again, they had a few wrestlers out. I think they have at least one tonight that I know of that isn't wrestling. And again, good fight here by the Alexandria Cardinals in this one, and the Yellowjackets look good, and they look ready to move on to wrestle. Haven't got any scores in yet, so I apologize for that. But looking at maybe Thief River being the favorite out of that side, but you never know when it comes to wrestling.
Cash doing a good job being aggressive, pushing the pace here. See if he can get behind for a 2-point takedown here. One before two. If anything, give him an escape here rather than a reversal. Good job by Cash finishing the period on top.
4-1 lead for Cash Burke going into the third period, and really well wrestled here by these two. Again, we got a blood timeout. Cash Burke going over to see trainer Colton Lehman. Again, we like to thank him for all that he does at these sporting events, and we have Coach John McEachran coming out. I think we probably witnessed this year the first time that he hasn't been mat side in many, many years, and John Kostnik stepped up to bat and took over the place, and we kind of razzed him, what is it like to take over for a legend in that spot? And again, he goes, I was a little bit nervous, but again, thanks to Coach John McEachran and his love of Perham athletics and just being around these young men, he's a good person to have next on their side. So thanks to those two guys for what they do in blood timeouts, and Colton Lehman for all of his work. Kind of behind the scenes, but most of the time in the forefront. Cash Burke now with the ride here. Again, you got to be careful here, Cash. Again, trying to get some.
Cash in an okay spot. He just can't get caught. He did a good job bellying out there, but now we got a match on our hands.
Reversal by Button makes it 4-3, minute 30. Again, you wonder if Button's going to ride out or if he'll start and try to go takedowns. He looks like he's going to flatten him out. Must feel more comfortable in this top position. Trying to get that arm out from Cash here.
Cash got to slide a knee up, work over your knee, get back up to your base. Keep working to your feet here to make it a 2-point match.
Stall right there for Cash Burke, and it came early, Jesse, so I think that's one of the things you have to watch. You don't worry so much about a late one because they're not going to call two almost back-to-back, but when it comes that early.
Big time clasp there. Good job by the official. Diving underneath. He's going to let this play out. Now he'll call it.
So that's a big point. It kind of eliminates that stall now, and again, it's going to have to be back points.
Cash still needs to come to his feet here like he did and kind of explode, make it a 3-point match to really put the pressure on Button.
And I think if you're the Yellowjackets, Jesse, you want to see Cash win this one, not just survive it. You want to see him get the escape now and leave no doubt in this type of match. Again, both you can hear the crowds getting amped up. It's a beautiful thing, even though the scoreboard's a little lopsided. They're cheering on, especially the Cardinals trying to cheer on Aiden Button here.
Button with an arm bar.
7 seconds remaining. He's going to have to go a little faster than what he wants.
Good job by Cash fending that off, winning a 5-3 match.
Cash Burke with the 5-3 decision. Makes it 39-12 on the scoreboard. Again, a good win and a good battle by both of those young men. We're going to head into heavyweight. I'm guessing we're going to see Hudson Hackle for the Yellowjackets. And I'd have to say it's Werder.
From Alexandria, Jackson Werder. And from Perham, Hudson,
Jackson Werder, 11th grader, 21-19 for the Cardinals, going up against Hudson Hackle, a senior for the Yellow Jackets, 25-9 on the season. Again, both guys go upper body, little throw type action for Werder, and Hackle lands on top of him. Werder right back to the middle of the mat.
Good job by Hudson working his underhook to a shot there. Love to see it happen in the middle.
Big day for the Yellow Jackets today. We had signing day up here. We had 4 athletes signed to go on. Again, followed up by this. Here we're going double underhooks. So a lot of things happening at the Yellow Jackets, and there's Hackle with the throw. He goes upper body. He's got it tight. He's got the back points. He's looking for the fall, putting pressure on. He's up on his toes, getting to the edge of the mat here. And there's the fall by Hudson Hackle to finish out this round. And again, the scoreboard shows 45-12 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Woo! It was a great night of wrestling, Jesse, and again, it started out with Alexandria victorious over Park Rapids. They came back, a valiant effort at the early on in the match. I think it was like 20-12, and we were like, okay, we're in it. A couple of decisions maybe to move up and down, and the Yellow Jackets kind of fared well towards the end of the match, obviously, to make it 45-12. They'll move on. Wrestle tomorrow night, and again, we don't know who. We do know that they are going to wrestle the opposite side probably, which would be the Thief River side. So Detroit Lakes took on Roseau earlier. The winner of that took on Thief River. We didn't get any scores back yet, so we're not going to make any assumptions. But if that's the case, it would be Perham Thief River tomorrow night in Minnewaska. Wow, it's great, and what it looks like is going to happen tomorrow night, 2 6 o'clock matches. So the the 4 teams that are left will come. They'll cross brackets. They'll wrestle at 6 o'clock. The winners then I'm sure they'll go down to one mat, kind of the same setup we had tonight, 6 to 7:30. Man, there's some star power coming the rest of the way here. If the Final Four turns out to be the Yellow Jackets, Pequot Lakes, Thief River, and Dilworth, Glen, and Felton, it's going to be a wild one, Jesse.
You can't hope for anything more than that. I know we chatted about a month ago when we wrestled DGF here that this is a good inkling of where we need to get to as a program here. I can't wait for tomorrow night to watch some great wrestling.
Oh yeah, it's going to be outstanding, and one of the things that you just hope for is that everybody's healthy going into the match, and that you can see the best wrestling that comes to play. And again, earlier on, you just don't know what's happened. The Yellow Jackets have beat Thief River. They've beaten Pequot Lakes, Pine River Bacchus. It was earlier in the year, and then they fell to DGF. So again, matchups and different things going on, it just becomes a crazy, crazy time. And I guess the one thing you can say about wrestling is you always want to live to fight the next day.
Absolutely. You can't compete for a chance at a state tournament berth if you're not in the section championship. So don't put the cart in front of the horse. It's the next up mentality. You got to make sure you handle that business in the semifinals before you start making state aspirations.
Right, it's really awesome. And again, we talked earlier, big day for the Yellow Jackets. They had signing day here. You'll have to help me out, Jesse, but would congratulate Aspen Rohde, Jaden Hackle, Maya Lung, and Braylon Rock for, and we talked about, I think the best thing that was said by Athletic Director Aaron Anderson is they're covering the states as North Dakota, Wisconsin, Iowa, all covered in where these kids are going, and it sure is awesome to see Yellow Jackets going on to compete elsewhere.
Absolutely. They do such a good job here of, promoting the athletes and people doing activities in the next level, and it just shows that it's possible, and it shows other kids that that opportunity is there if they want it as well.
Right, big night for the Yellowjackets. One of the things that we should talk about here is I'll get the scoreboard going again, but last night here for senior wrestlers, and you watch them taking pictures and you think about all the mat time that they've had, and one thing I know about this senior class, Jesse, and you're close to them as well as I am, they're more than just football players or wrestlers or baseball players, they're friends. And it's one of those times that it's good to go out on a win, but there's a little sadness as well, knowing this is the last time you suit up for the Yellowjackets in your home building.
No doubt. You see a lot of hugs out there, a lot of people shaking hands, and kind of a job well done to some of these seniors. Every year you think, man, this is going to get easier to watch this happen, but again, seeing these seniors wrestle since they were in 4th, 5th, 6th grade all the way through, it's just fun to see it come full circle.
Right, and well said, Jesse, and again, I'd like to thank all of the communities, the schools that came together to make this happen tonight. So thank you to Park Rapids area schools, Alexandria schools, Perham schools as well. We want another shout out to Tanya Beachy for her graphics, Jason Groth for setting this all up, and I'd like to thank you, Jesse, for battling through the cold to give us your knowledge and expertise. It's always great to work with you on wrestling events. So for Jesse Hine, Jason Groth, this is Lance Rock signing out.